Hi, everybody, and welcome to this extra, very special Hobby Titans, as we like to say here. I'm joined, of course, it's been a while that the two of us have been on a stream together. The OG team now here. Kat, I'm joined by Kat. It's Kat. It's Kat. That's Kat.
Hello.
She's Kat. I'm Zach, and it's great to be back. I've been, I was on 2 weeks ago, but not with you.
Yeah.
With Adrian. And then you were on with Adrian.
Yeah.
No, I was on with Megan.
Meg, yeah.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, we've had a little bit of a rotating staff. As you have heard us here on Titan Studio say over and over again, September is just this crazy month for us where a lot of us have birthdays. And like a lot of us, like all the Phillipses and me and Megan. And actually just that. But there's a lot going on in September.
It's still a lot of people in comparison to everyone else in the studio.
To everybody around. So we are here. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be back with Kat. She has gone totally rogue and is working on a cat.
Yes.
That Kat is working on. What are you working on?
So there's a board game out there called Nemesis.
Yeah.
And I don't play it, but it has an expansion called Space Cats.
Okay.
And I saw someone painting them one day in the store, and I was like, that is amazing. What is that? And I immediately bought it.
They look like fun models to paint. It's a good size.
Yeah.
It's kind of bulky. So I'm excited to see what you do with this. And Kat has said, and I'm going to hold her to this, she maybe wasn't going to admit this to you guys, that she's challenging herself to finish this today.
Yes.
That's interesting.
On stream.
On stream.
Yes.
And I, likewise, will be finishing what I'm working on stream. One of them, anyway. I have some Kroot here from the new Into the Dark box. If you guys know me, you know that Kroot are my favorite race in the 41st Millennium and Warhammer 40k. I love me some Kroot. They don't get a lot of love, but wow, the new box is amazing. The models are so cool. I'm blown away by them. But I will say this, like Kat, I'm becoming more like Kat because I am going to finish just one model today. I'm going to show you guys a couple steps on one of them, and then I'm going to finish to completion a second one because I am trying to take more time where she's trying to get faster. One day we're going to be in the middle. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
We're going to open up a painting studio. We're going to rule the world. But for now, let's get creative. Okay, cut to how I paint my Kroot currently. So I want to show you guys a little selection of my Kroot. Here in the front guy's actually out of focus. So let's talk about the back guy. This is Grek. I love Grek. He is, in about 20 years, the only Kroot model that's come out in between the original Kroot release and what we have now. You can see he's got his little cape. He's got a little scene on the back of his cape that I love painting my little scenes. In the front, you see the Kroot carnivore. One thing that's happened over the years with Kroot is they now wear more clothes. Whereas Kroot kind of do this almost like Sonic the Hedgehog thing with like a shirt. No, Sonic is totally naked, but with pants. No pants, with shoes. Sonic is totally naked, but with shoes.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a race thing. I think that's just him because there are other hedgehogs.
A race thing?
Yeah, I think there are other hedgehogs that wear clothes.
Okay.
It's like
what is happening? I have not been around Canada. I've just to meet you're like, wait, yeah, but the fact that Sonic only wears shoes.
I think that's a personal decision.
The fact that Sonic only wears shoes and no pants or a shirt is not a race thing.
No.
You like came right out of the gate, like really defending Sonic for that choice, defending hedgehogs.
Yeah,
you're like, whoa, everybody, just so you know, that's a choice Sonic makes. It does not reflect your average hedgehog.
Yeah.
Who wears shirts but no pants? A lot of cartoon characters.
Winnie the Pooh?
Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Again, maybe the weirdest one you could pick. What is with? Okay, this is going to be an interesting. This is going to be an interesting couple hours here. Defending hedgehogs. Well, I'll be honest with you. You know who I thought of? Remember like those? Oh, they're so old. Remember like those Hanna-Barbera characters that are like all like really goofy.
No.
Oh God. If anybody old enough, by the way, I just turned 40. That was my birthday, my 40th birthday. If anybody old enough remembers any of these Hanna-Barbera characters, there's one called Snagglepuss. He sort of looked like Pink Panther, but he had a white turtleneck on. Only. No pants.
Okay.
In fact, I think most of those Hanna-Barbera characters did not wear pants.
Interesting.
And that is the Kroot thing. Traditionally, the Kroot kind of do like a Winnie the Pooh, kind of Donald Duck. Yep, that's another one. Yeah.
All of the Rugrats, but
no.
they're babies.
Well,
so.
they have diapers on though, huh? The Rugrats cat. Oh my god, cat. The Rugrats definitely have pants on.
Are diapers pants?
Yeah. We're gonna count diapers as pants. Otherwise, I was thinking, I was like, wait a minute. I think the way Rugrats was drawn, and the fact that they're humans.
That's fair, but
think they
I'm just
have to
not
show-
counting diapers as pants.
Okay, diapers are diapers pants.
Yeah.
A new question
Are
for,
hot dogs
for the community.
sandwiches?
Are our hot dog sandwiches? Are diapers pants? Okay, so here we go. That is the one in the that's the Kroot carnivore. He's got a tank top on, no pants. You see the Hound, and then you see Greg here. Greg is kind of indicative of how I feel like the new Kroot from the new box, the Into the Dark box are, in that they have more clothes on. Still, though, not really pants, actually. They just kind of have, like, capes and stuff over top of them. I think it's okay if Kroot don't wear pants. I was reading today about Kroot from the Into the Dark box, and I was reading that they expel waste through their skin in an oily discharge that then actually protects them. It makes them harder to see by, like, messing with like light rays, and then also it can deflect incoming attacks. Kind of interesting. So
Yeah, interesting.
yeah, so they don't really need to wear pants, turns out. Okay.
You shouldn't really, because you
get your oil
you get your
oil discharge.
Yeah, all over your pants.
That's actually why Kroot don't wear pants.
Now they look like, to me, Turians from Mass Effect. Have you ever played that?
No.
Oh, okay.
You know I haven't.
Okay. That's fair.
Probably a comparison that other people, though, in chat will understand. Yeah, I think that are they like them? Are these guys are sort of, I would say Kroot kind of have the almost like the noble savage vibe in 40K. Maybe not so noble, but they're like the outdoorsy, woodsy guys in a science fiction universe. They're the guys who like understand nature and like kind of They're also like crazy mercenaries who work for everybody.
Okay. Yeah. I'm getting confirmation from chat that they do in fact look like them.
Okay.
So I'm not crazy, but yeah. See, while you just turned 40, I will be turning 30.
Okay, fun. When?
Next month.
Next month.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
this new kid stuff.
I guess our references will be different, but I feel like
that makes sense.
Our community spans the ages. So
yeah,
it's great.
I think so. You didn't know Snagglepuss?
Yeah.
Which, look, honestly, like, I think yours sounds a lot cooler. Snagglepuss is... All of those Hanna-Barbera characters are really stupid. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys a couple things on mine. Just actually talk through it more because it's not that hard. The guy I'm going to really work on is the sniper guy called the... Oh, I forget the long sight, the Kroot long sight. And he's like, in the kill team, he's like the sniper dude. And I'm just lightening him up a little bit more. The color of my Kroot skin that I really, the main kind of color is this Ulthuan gray that Citadel makes. It's like this really, it's almost like Minotaur Snow White, honestly. It's a cool, they call it a gray, but you could almost call it a tinted white, I feel like.
An off-white. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really pretty much an off-white. So that's the color of him. But to get there, what I do when I paint my Kroot is I first cover them with any kind of like medium gray. Usually that could be Adeptus Mechanicus gray if you're using Citadel. Here today I used English gray from AK, which I do find goes through Patriot pretty okay without too much thinning. Actually, I don't know if I thin this one at all. So I cover my Kroot with that. And then what I do, I like this technique here where I airbrush a Citadel shade, And this is one of the older bottles I'm still using, not one of the newer bottles. This is the Drakenhof Nightshade. I think they still make this one the same. Still, it's the blue. It's like the dark blue. And what I do is I really just pummel this model with this because I want it to like get into the cracks. And I'm gonna pass it to Kat here in a second so you can see how serious I am about that. Because I want this to really fall into all the like, this is a strategy in general I do for like muscle things. I like to do this for ogres as well. Anything with kind of like big fleshy muscles. The theory here is that this will now dry and it'll fall into the cracks. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a very thin color over top of it. That thin color being just different whites and stuff. And those whites will struggle to cover what has fallen into the cracks. And that's exactly what I want. All right, so I'll bug Kat's view here for a second and just pass this guy into it. So you can kind of see he's been, he's soaking wet here with probably the gun. You can like touch him by his gun or something, Kat. I think it's okay.
His hair.
That even if I got some there, we're gonna paint that a different color. So you can see he's kind of soaking wet there, and as a result, he is going to be like when we put the white on, which I will do after that dries. You'll see that it should help us kind of create this like gradient. So he's gonna dry. And while he dries, I'm working on my other guy, Kat.
Yeah.
Back to you.
Yeah.
But for you,
Yes.
what are you up to here?
So I've pulled out all these contrast paints. Now, I did say I'm trying to challenge myself, but I did want to make it easier on myself as well too.
Sure, I think that's okay.
Now, the expansion came with these cute little art cards for everything. And so there's 4 cats in the expansion, which I think are great. But there's this chunky little one that is wearing like an astronaut suit, and he's also like the back cover for the cards as well too. And I just think he's great. But I kind of want to get this whole like reflective look to him with all these different colors reflecting off of his spacesuit. In all these different directions because he's in space. So there's not just one like directional light source. And then I'm going to go in with some silvers and pick out the details and stuff. So it'll be easy, but hopefully it'll look really cool. I'm starting with the lightest color, which is Imperial Fist. And then I'm going to work in little like probably some turquoises. I have yet to decide which turquoise I want, which is why I have all these here. And then I have a bunch of purples. I think some of these purples are the same. No, they're all different. Never mind. So I have some purples here.
There's a lot of contrast purples out of nowhere. It seems to be one of the colors they were like, you know what we need, guys?
Purple.
Way more purple.
Yeah. And then I have a dark blue. I don't know if this is the blue that I want, but I'm going to test them all out on this paper down here, and then we'll go from there. And so, yeah, I just want to get some cool lighting. Now his face looks weird because I did shove some putty into it, mostly just because I don't want to spend a ton of time repainting over things that, like, if I get paint on it, then I'm going to have to add a ton more layers to this. So yeah, I'm going to try and get this done as quickly as possible. And if I have time, that just gives me more time to make it more detailed. So
yeah, like you can't really lose, right?
Yeah.
I like that theory of almost like how long does it take you to paint a model? Mm-hmm. I think that if I wanted to, I could probably get more than one of this kill band done. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to. So we'll see how far I can get on one guy in 2 hours. And obviously I need to paint them all. We might have some kill team on the way.
Ooh.
I'm not allowed to talk about it beyond that. But there might be some kill team on the way. This box is super cool, by the way. It is a little pricey. It comes out after tax to a little over $200, I think, kind of on average. Mm-hmm. And man, they were hard to find in the Bay Area. Actually, you guys over at Game Castle really sold out. Mm-hmm. And I was kind of surprised. I know Kill Team is sort of popular, but I didn't know it was that popular.
Yeah, it's also not even just the Kill Team thing. I think it's just like the models and everything like that. So it's hard to determine like what box set is going to be super like crazy versus which one's not. Like the Black Templar box set we thought was going to be like insane because it's Black Templars, but you know, no one really went for it. I think it's mostly just like what's new, and if it's new, then people are gonna like be super excited for it, or if it's something that hasn't like gotten attention in a really long time.
I think with Kill Team, Games Workshop has sort of over the years since I've been playing 40K, Games Workshop has taken a few stabs at it, and I know literally I can say for sure I've played at least 3 different versions of Kill Team, and I think this is the 4th since around 2008, 2009, when I got back into the hobby. And I think that previous versions of Kill Team were not amazing, but not bad. But it seems like this time around, people are really into it. And then in addition to that, they've kept up with it this time. They didn't really release like the rules, one set of rules, and then just like call it. So this new box set is, I want to say the 3rd Kill Team box set. Yeah, there was Orc Commandos, and I forget who they were fighting. Then there was Corsairs, where you got the Eldar Corsairs, and I forget who they were fighting. And now, finally, there are these guys, the Imperial Navy Breachers, and these Kroot. And I think it also kind of sends a message that Games Workshop is like, hey, we're serious about this. We're going to keep releasing models for this. Like, shut up, stop asking. And so I think people were kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, this is worth getting. And then Andy also brings up a good point, which is that the terrain that came with this is also kind of interesting as well. So yeah, it seems like the box was pretty popular, and I can certainly say the models are super cool. I was not let down by waiting for years of Kroot models to come out with this box. Hopefully it finds rules in 40K. Ooh, that looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did, well, you primed them, but I did do I wouldn't call it a zenithal. I did highlight in certain areas where I wanted the like light to be the brightest. And so I like heavily focused on his helmet and then went down a little bit. And then on this side, I heavily focused on his little chunky leg. Because I thought that would be fun, like if there were like just 2 different light sources and stuff. I think that'd be cute. I don't know. I just think he's super cute. And I did not expect it. So Nemesis is like based off of like the Aliens movies and stuff like that, like xenomorphs. And
yeah,
so,
is it licensed from that, or is it just like...
Yes.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
So then this cat is, I was saying earlier, is like Jonesy. Jonesy's the cat from the Aliens movies.
Yeah, kind of, except there's 4 cats. And some of them are, like, there's this one who's like, it's just a cat. But
That's
then
probably
the other
Jonesy,
ones,
yeah.
The other ones are like part xenomorph.
Yeah, the other ones have been like changed or whatever.
Face hugged.
Yeah.
Which they're really cool, but I picked this guy to challenge myself. 1, because I actually really want to finish him. 2, he's the simplest shape. And 3, he's just a chunky cat, and I think they're really cute.
The other ones look like maybe they could be done. In like with some techniques, kind of quickly, if that makes sense. Like like airbrushing, washing, dry brushing. If you wanted to, not that I know you would do that. But
Yeah, like if I was actually playing the game, that's probably what I would do. if
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
wanted painted models to play with.
Right.
I did talk about maybe putting some extreme metals on them, which are like the lacquer-based metal colors from AK, and or at least going in with like a glossy black and then putting a ton of layers of contrast paint. So like it is really dark, but I don't know. I'm gonna go back and forth on it for a little bit. So that blue color I used was Contrast Frost Heart. So far Imperial Fist and Frost Heart are the two colors that I've used. But I'm gonna go in with a darker turquoise.
It's kind of cool to check out the gradients as you do them. I'm just laying down some base coat with a brush. Basically, any area of this Kroot that is not his skin is going to get a base coat here of, believe it or not, Cantor Blue, from which I then start painting like my green towel colors over top of. So this is his gun. This guy doesn't actually have a towel shoulder pad. Kind of interesting. He doesn't really have a towel gun either. In fact, yeah, this Kroot has like no towel things really on him. This has some cool goggles. Yeah, kind of exciting. I'm going to paint his cape this color as well. And the other thing I do when I paint my Kroot, after I do my my airbrushing, is I go in with the Drakenhof Nightshade. You know, guys, I was saying I like to like leave, like the idea is that the recesses stay a little darker, but in a lot of places I find that they just need help. So I go back in and just edge highlight, or not edge highlight, recess wash, the opposite edge highlighting, some areas where I want that to come out a little bit more.
Okay, so Croxagore scales is very green. You can kind of see it a little bit.
Oh yeah,
right
it's like
down
a
here.
greenish.
Yeah, it's very green. So what I actually did was I drew like a little line in between the more blue and the yellow to help out that fade. And then I just sprayed it down here. Honestly, I'm not really thinking about like color placement too much. Mostly just I don't want to get like muddied colors. That's my biggest concern. But it's space, and who knows what that looks like, really.
Space is mostly green, I read once.
Oh, okay.
I guess we don't, like our eyes don't see it that way, but.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I mainly just want to get some cool light reflections down, and like when I go in and paint the details of his spacesuit, I think will really sell it, but I want to get majority of my colors down as quickly as possible. And then I'm going to set this one aside for now. So that way I can go in and do brush painting.
But Kat, you're not like a fan of the Aliens movies? You haven't seen any of them?
I don't know. Maybe like I saw parts of it. Because I know I can recall like scenes, but I don't know if I've ever sat down and watched the whole thing from start to finish.
Oh, I see. I get it. I think the original Alien, the original one, it's actually from 1979. It's just called Alien, not Aliens. I think it's like one of my favorite movies. It's pretty cool. It's very good. It's just like, it's actually just like good. It's like handled pretty well.
Now, it's scary, right, though?
It's a scary movie. You don't like scary movies?
No, I don't.
God. It is I think it's pretty scary. I think you're right. It's a sci-fi horror. The second one, Aliens, from the mid-'80s, is less of it's a sci-fi action, I would say, with a slight horror angle, very slight.
Okay.
And none of the other ones are horror, really. I don't think so. Maybe people would disagree with me. Maybe people in chat would disagree with me. But I wouldn't consider them
horror.
Horror, no.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of scary movies.
What is it you don't like about scary movies?
The lack of control.
What do you mean? No?
It's just like I know something's going to be scary, but I know I'm not going to be able to prevent myself from being scared. And I think really that's the biggest thing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And it's also like the major buildup of anticipation and the anxiety. And yeah, sometimes they hurt. I don't know. Yeah.
They hurt?
They like physically hurt. It's just a weird thing. I also
That's
have
so interesting.
yeah, medical history here. I have like a weird heart, and I
weird
get
heart?
like heart palpitations
Oh, no.
and stuff like that. So
So you don't want to be freaked out by movies.
yeah, sometimes when my adrenaline spikes, like it just hurts.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So really, like, not a lot of sense in even recommending horror movies to you.
Yeah, but that's the weird thing too, because I can enjoy really good ones. Like I liked Get Out, but that was more of like
That's not a.
like a psychological
That's
thing.
really not. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I guess really what it is, I just really don't like jump scares.
Oh, I see. Yeah, there's not a lot of jump scares in Get Out.
But yeah.
And it's also got like comedic elements in it, which kind of help, right?
Yeah. I can breathe.
Yeah, yeah.
At a certain point. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought Get Out was really good. I don't even know what other scary movies. Yeah, I just don't watch a whole lot. Yeah. I also just don't watch a whole lot of movies in general. So I guess that's also a big thing. Like if I'm going to watch a movie, I want it to be something that doesn't hurt physically. So
Yeah, I mean that certainly makes sense. It's a good approach to your free time, right? Like,
yeah.
why spend your free time in agony?
Yeah. It's really just like the anxiety portion of it. Like I'll have to like pause it, walk away, and then breathe for a second, and then go back to it. It's easier from watching with other people because then like I can't do that because then it just ruins the experience for everyone else.
Yeah, you'll just sit there and almost die
Yeah.
rather than make people feel uncomfortable.
Yes.
Yeah.
So.
Guess
yeah.
I'll just die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So. Anyway, I'm sure it's a great movie. I'm sure I've seen parts of it. Like walked into a room and had it be on and then like sit down for a little bit and then be like, no, I'm done. I'm out. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm not one of those people with like movie franchises and things that it's like that always I'm like, oh no, the original is always the best, blah blah blah, you know. I do think for me, curious what chat thinks, curious if Alien franchise fans think. I do think the original is the best though. Because the thing is, like, oftentimes people are like, oh, the original is the best. And then, like, you go and you watch it, and it has, like, really bad, like, I know everyone loves to act like they don't love CGI, but of course we do, right? Like, there's this one franchise that I don't want to talk too much about, but, like, it has orcs in it. And the original one, there's, like, guys playing the orcs, like, in makeup. And then when they redid when they added a second trilogy to the first trilogy, like, 10 years later, they made the orcs CGI and they look way more cool. And, you know, you go back and you're like, oh, in the original one, the orcs are just local people from the country, which I think happened to be New Zealand. And they're like, oh, they're just like local people in a lot of makeup. And they don't really look very scary because they're just humans dressed up in makeup.
So you don't like practical effects is really what I'm hearing?
Practical effects can be super cool. But I think just dressing people up in makeup and being like, hey, that's an orc is like, wasn't great, right? Again, like multiple franchises have probably done orcs in makeup, but you know, so anyway, I think we're always like, oh, the original's better. And then oftentimes we go back and we watch the original and it's like, oh my God, it's kind of goofy. A newer one is better. Or any of the, let me think, the original Star Wars, The original Star Wars. Are they better than the other Star Wars? I think like most people would say yes, right? Again. But I don't know.
I feel like you're gonna get us canceled. I'm just gonna not say anything.
Like not for any like anything rude, just like
Yeah.
just maybe
Just
controversial
upsetting
in the nerd world.
A bunch of nerds, yeah.
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 Oh man. I have to say, some
Yeah, say it.
new member of the Titan studio. Oh man, I don't want to out this person's opinion. I'm gonna let this person share it. But a new member of the Titan studio has an opinion on the Star Wars movies that, oh man, when the community hears it, oh man, they are gonna riot. If they think me finding the Hobbit trilogy more entertaining than the original Lord of the Rings trilogy, oh boy, when they hear this one, they're gonna be furious.
Man,
Furious.
I am curious now.
Very excited. Yeah. I'm gonna let this member divulge this information on their own, and we're just gonna leave it at that. But I will also toss it out there in the world because I know our fans will prod and find and like witch hunters will hunt this information down and force it out of this person, which is fair.
Okay.
That's the price we pay.
Okay.
This person
Sure.
knows. This person now knows it's coming. If they really didn't want it to be known, they wouldn't have brought it up today. I'll just say that.
Oh, okay.
Literally came up today.
All right. So this is recent news
It's recent news.
to you.
To me, I
And-
found out. I was like, wow. I was like, when our fan base finds that out, you are dunzo.
Ooh.
It's gonna be great.
Okay. So if anyone can make sense of your riddles and figure out who this person is, maybe ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ask them. Yeah. Anyway, look. How's it going over here?
Good? Good? I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm almost done with the suit.
I'm really curious. I'm excited to see the reflective stuff.
Yeah, me too.
You know what's very interesting is how much flack I get for some of my opinions on these movies. And then I was like, hey, guys, space is mostly green. And nobody said anything about that.
I think it's
Nobody was like, wait a minute, space isn't green.
really mainly like we don't know enough to prove
I know.
it wrong.
I think I need to start using this to my advantage.
Because when you go, oh, I read somewhere that this is this, then it's not your weird opinion. It's perhaps a misremembered fact,
I see.
potentially. So yeah, I'm gonna put them like this so y'all can see them. But yeah,
Well, yeah, I did see Applesauce Smash. You were mentioning that you don't know what you like better, Alien or Aliens. I weirdly find I know Aliens is really popular, but I really don't like, and I love Michael Biehn, but like. I think when you watch that movie, like Sigourney Weaver seems like she doesn't seem like an action star. It's like weird to see her in the original one and then see her in this one. It's cool that she did it and that she was involved, maybe not necessarily on the screen, but with like almost all the Aliens movies. But for whatever reason, I'm just like not into her as a action person. And in general, it demystified the aliens, right? When you go from like I understand, like, the first one is, like, miners dealing with aliens, like space miners. And then
I thought you were saying children.
children.
Okay.
No children. And then the second one is, military. Is, like, space marine people.
Yeah, for some reason, I like when you're describing this, it kind of reminds me of like what they did to the Resident Evil franchise. It used to be more about like creepy zombies and or like
Yeah, I've
mutant
seen a
dead
few of these
humans.
movies too, and I would agree with that. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
similar. And it's this treatment that I think some sci-fi stuff gets where it's like the first one is really tight in this context of like It's horror. We're dealing with an unknown. It's almost like the problem a lot of horror movies have condensed into one movie. The movie's good for the first 2 acts when the entity is unknown,
Right.
and hard to deal with. But then once you figure out its trick, and you can just like a normal person can go beat it by like showing true love or like remembering their good times with their son or something. Like in horror movies, it's always something goofy, right? Like then it's sort of like, hey, this isn't really that scary anymore, right? And I think like Alien into Aliens did that. It's like Alien. It's like these workers,
Aliens,
these
yeah.
blue collar workers,
Oh, okay.
encountering this one alien in outer space on their ship.
Right.
Aliens is like, okay, here come the Marines, and we're just gonna go fight these things, right? And of
Right.
course, we're gonna have some failures and some successes, but it turns into like a more of a fair fight. Entities are known a little bit more, just that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Resident Evil did that too. Yeah, you're right.
I get that.
I want to say Silent Hill as well. Did they make a second Silent Hill movie? Or game? I feel like that happened with Silent Hill a little bit too, right?
I don't know.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, the same thing with what they did with the Resident Evil movie is the same thing what they did with the Resident Evil games too. Like 6 was just an action, like a first person like action game. And then everything else after that. I think because 6, which is like the weird giraffe looking logo thing, because 6 got like so much flack that then they were like, oh no, we remember how to do normal Resident Evil games.
Oh, and then they switched back.
The latest one was very like, this is Resident Evil.
There's also a lot of like, the other thing going on is there's like a lot of like resets right now, where you can like say, oh, we're rebooting it. Instead of like, here's 8, it's a reboot, right? They do that a lot too. Yeah, people are like doing interesting approaches to what really is a sequel, right? They're like, oh, Saw did that. It wasn't a reboot. It was like a reinterpretation or like a spin-off, a spiral. Yeah. Do you watch the Saw movies? No, I guess not. Because they're not really horror movies to me.
They're just kind of like gruesome to be gruesome, though, aren't they? Like,
I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually if it's like there's no meaning to it, then like I get bored.
Oh, you get bored. Okay.
Yeah, then I'm just kind of like, what's the point?
Yeah.
It's not scary. I'm just kind of like, I don't get it.
Well, that's not exactly true in the Saw movies. Typically, the character played by Tobin Bell, a man who people act like has been in other movies, but really hasn't. I'm gonna like really fire Meg up here, but he's really not in any other movies. So you're not like, he was in an episode of Seinfeld randomly.
Okay.
But basically, he's not in anything else ever. And people are like, oh, Tobin Bell is this actor. It's like, not really. He's in Saw. Anyway, he captures people, and he's sort of like an incel. Like, he like poses these like ridiculous like questions to them about, and it's like, here, like, do you like, oh, you worked at a bookstore and you like didn't read very much in your free time. Like, what kind of human being are you? Well, now you can either live or gouge your eyes out. You can either gouge your eyes out and live, or so you never have to read again, or you'll die. It's like, cool. I mean, I guess that's fair. I didn't read in my free time.
Yeah,
and now these are my choices.
Yeah, I guess I'd just die. Is really what it is. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah. I wouldn't want to make anyone upset with me.
Spiral is in the same universe as Saw. Yeah, what universe? Saw, Earth? Like our universe?
Meg. No, I like this. It's so funny because like you're badly explaining, quote unquote, badly explaining like horror movies, which is very similar to me badly explaining the 40K lore. So you know, same.
It's true.
Same.
It's true. You can always explain a universe poorly and make the fans of the universe upset, which is not really what I'm trying to do.
Right, because Meg's a big like horror movie person, right?
Meg and I had differences of opinion on Saw.
Oh, okay.
But otherwise, we are both horror movie fans. I don't really consider Saw a horror movie. I guess I consider it I don't know. Like that's interesting, and I guess like somebody who doesn't like horror movies, like takes on genres of horror movies are interesting. Like to me, you're right. Yeah, it's a normal guy.
Normal.
Being a serial. Yeah.
Yeah, but like
it's basically a serial killer. I don't really consider like serial killer movies horror movies. Mm-hmm. Or like I don't know. I guess I really prefer supernatural entity.
Something unexplainable.
Something unexplainable to be horror, but
Yeah.
I realize that maybe isn't the sole definition of it. It's just my definition of it.
That's fair. I mean, because like the same thing with The Walking Dead. Like they were this like unsurmountable force for the longest time, but then the longer that the seasons went on, then it was like, okay, now they're just like a nuisance.
Yeah, people are like, isn't it just like it's like guns and running, right? It's like people running around with guns.
Yeah.
Just like using their guns.
I stopped watching it because
Yeah,
I just got bored. Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. Yeah, you're right. It totally changed as like, it's almost like its genre changed, which is what I'm saying about the Alien movies.
Okay.
I feel like the first one is a horror, the second one is an action, and I'm just saying I like the horror element a little bit better. But I can see that they're both pretty cool. As an action movie, I will say this: I'm not generally the biggest action movie fan, but as an action movie, Aliens is pretty good. But the best sci-fi action, yes, somebody mentioned it earlier, arguably the original Predator.
That's
Okay.
fair.
How are you doing? How are you coming along here?
I think I'm gonna get into brush painting.
Ooh, I beat you to brush painting? Yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Let's see where you're at.
Yeah. This is where I'm at.
Let's compare now. Let's compare to the card and see how you're doing.
Oh, I'm not trying to match the card.
No, but you have almost.
Sort of. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny every time I like bring him around to his face.
No, but you have like
Somewhat. Yeah, in my mind his spacesuit is black. In this one it's like a silvery white. But yeah, I'm gonna.
Can I pass my Kroot?
Sure.
Here's where my Kroot's at. We are starting on some brushwork. And I'm kind of hopping around on him. I'm in the stage on my Kroot where I do like hop around time. And hop around time means for me with brushwork is like, I'm kind of building, I'm not like, let me think about this. I'm not going up by step. Like I'm not doing like, okay, I'm doing all this step next. Now I'm doing all the recess washing. Now I'm doing all the base coat. Like I'm doing things as I think they make sense to guide me through him, if that makes sense. So like I've already kind of like layered a little bit up the inside of his cape. I haven't done anything to the outside of his cape yet. Put a lot of base coats down, but I don't know if that ever makes sense. I like his little his right arm there. I put like a little dab of white paint on his quills, his spines, but like I don't know. I don't know if you ever paint like that. Is that weird? Do you ever paint that way?
Like jump around?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes, do I ever paint like that? Yes, Zach.
I think it's easy. I think it makes more sense when you're doing just one model, huh?
Yeah.
Typically, I wait until the end of a model. Typically, I wait till the end of a model to do that, like very close to the end. Like if I'm painting 10 at a time, then I go in each model and be like, okay, this guy needs this. This guy needs this. You know what I mean? But with one model, it's kind of nice. You can just like do it all along.
Yeah, because I mean that's one thing that you're like, I want to focus more on details and getting my contrast up and stuff. When you're assembly painting, it's easy to cut corners, and be like, no, I painted that already, or I don't need to touch that. That's already good enough.
You know, it's funny. It is easy to cut corners, and the way I feel about it, honestly, for better or worse, the word I would use is it's mandatory to cut corners. To some extent, I feel like it's like, yeah, like it's that's sort of how I approach it. Adrian just cranked out the Votan, and I helped him with a couple steps along the way. Like I did lenses on the Studio Votan Army, and man, I mean, like all along the way, him and I on the last day we were here hobbying together, and we were constantly like looking at things and being like, what do we get if we change that black? What do we get if we paint that? What if we get if we just leave that the same color as the airbrush coat? Like, and there were a few little, and you pick out these details where you're like, oh, yep, that's going to be low-hanging fruit, right? We call it. Like, that's going to be good gains. Like, we're going to get, like, their belts. We ended up doing their belts, and it added a ton when we did their belts.
Like a ton of detail or a ton of time? Or
No. Oh, it added time, of course, but it added, like, the model popped more.
Yeah.
Because you took this, like, kind of white-colored model, bisected it horizontally with brown, put a little bit of wash, a little bit of highlight on that, and then out of nowhere it was like boom, like the bisection of the model was like crazy interesting.
Yeah, you added visual interest.
Exactly.
Yeah, when like it's the same thing when like you're staring at like a blank wall and it's all one color, your eyes start to glaze over things. But if you did like a dry brush over and it has some texture, then that starts to pick up and it stands out to you. But it's very similar to like if the pattern is too busy, your eyes start to wash over things as well too. Which is why like a lot of people will say like if you want to add more pop and more I guess vibrancy, but just more pop to your model,
pizzazz,
more focus is really what it is.
Oh.
You put most of your time and effort into like one or two things. You don't paint everything up to the same level.
A lot of people say faces and bases right there, right?
Yeah, faces.
For armies, I think bases add a lot. Like if you get your bases right.
Yeah, faces and anything that's like hands, because hands are like what is like the humanoidness about it, right? Is like what's in their hands.
That defines their humanoidness. You're right.
Yeah.
I never thought about
it. Yes. Thank you.
What is it that defines your humanoidness?
Hands. So, yeah. Now, what color do I make this cat?
Well, look. Are you open to any colors?
I have a color in mind.
Okay.
But I kind of want to hear what color you have in mind.
Well, I don't care. I like messing with I'm fine with things not being canted. But Jonesy is one of those calico, orange and yellow. Oh, yep.
Yeah.
That's Jonesy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I had orange in mind. Mostly just because most of the orange cats I know are like the chunkiest, laziest,
they get big.
sweetest
Yeah, it does.
cats.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
So that's what he's going to be. He's going to be orange. Now, is that an orange that I like? I'm going to start with actually this brown color.
You know what's funny is just doing some of these like little things on this with brush have honestly brought this guy along really quick. I might have. I think if I don't think I could spend. I mean, of course, I could spend 2 hours on this one little infantry model, but I think my returns would get just bonkersly more and more diminishing. That said, he does have like a goggle thing. Those can take a while, like goggle lenses. You can like spend a day on you can spend a lot of time on goggle lenses, right?
Yeah, the little light reflection and.
I did see super chat up here from our friend Willow. Willow, thank you, Willow. Willow, Zach, you'll be thrilled to know that they got 40K rolls today. Oh, looks like you need 2 more boxes. Love that you're taking the time and loving these. Taking your time and loving these. Yes, I do want to take my time on these. Oh man, now like midstream, I want to pull out my phone and look at the rolls for these. You saying that I'm going to need 2 more boxes makes me think they're amazing also.
How
okay.
many come in a box?
That's actually a good question. I think it's 10 and 2 hounds. So cool. Yeah, I'm gonna act like that didn't totally distract me, and that I don't really badly want to look at the rules for these guys right now. Or ask questions of chat, like, for example, what arm can they go? Obviously, they can go in Tau. It's an elite's choice. Okay, okay. Yeah, no, you guys don't have to tell me anything. Just anything you happen to drop in chat, I might glance up and check.
But you don't have to.
You don't have to. Don't
Yeah.
feel obligated to.
But like you'd really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's actually great. I am really glad that they got rules, and I'm glad to see 40K doing that because they haven't always. And yeah, I'm super excited. Them and carnivores got rules. Don't carnivores already have rules? Oh yeah, can they be like their own army? That'd be super cool. That is the dream, although they don't have enough stuff. That is, I think, a dream of both Brett and I. I guess I shouldn't speak for Brett, but I'm pretty sure I can in this context.
Is there a limit over like how many duplicates you can have in an army, or?
Sometimes it depends. I know I need to super chat myself.
Super chat.
Yeah, Zach, if I super chat, like, Zach, could you pull up the Kroot rules and look at them on stream?
Yeah.
Then
And you're
maybe.
like, oh.
Oh,
yeah,
I guess
let
I
me do that for
guess I
you.
have to. We like to answer fan questions here. Yes, sort of, Cat. You can't have more than 3 units of something of the same thing, unless it's like a troops choice. Then you can have as many as you want. And there's occasionally other weird exceptions, but yeah, it's called the Rule of 3, and it's designed in case they. Well, I guess it's designed to make armies a little more interesting and not just one thing.
Bring different stuff.
Yeah, have people bring different things. Give us a live reaction. Sarah Esco. Hey, you know what? That's a great idea. Let's do that. Now I feel like a little bit justified in doing it. Okay, here we go. Live reaction. I'm going to pull up Kroot rules. 40K. I'm guessing it's in Warhammer community. Do you like how easy it was for Sarah Esco or
To convince you?
anybody to convince me that I should do this?
Yeah.
Okay. Warhammer community, I'm guessing. Ooh, you know what? It has been a busy day. I haven't done anything.
Anything.
Except for work today.
That's fair.
Oh, okay, fun. Kroot Far Stalkers. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, yeah, cool. Okay, it's a unit.
Thank you, Broken Chef. Just because I care, could you do a deep dive on the new rules that were released today?
Oh, no.
And by the way, John Stolfine.
Okay, well, at least he got that in. Brett sent it to. Yeah, Brett, we were chatting like this morning about it a little bit, and then I totally did not read any Facebook messengers, except for we're very busy here at the studio. We have some cool things coming down in the next couple days. So unless they were from Adrian or Brian or Bridger or John yelling at me, or Lindsay maybe yelling at me, then I didn't read them. So I apologize. Okay. Looks cool. They got a lot of different weapons. Looks fun. How many points for 10? Oh, they're super cheap. Ooh, fun. You can add little cool things to them. Okay, let's see their fun rule. Okay. At the end of their first battle round, no move. Okay, cool. They already have that. Oh, cool. Bounty hunter thingy. Reroll, hit roll. Fun. Okay, so they're pretty much like normal Kroot with more weapons. Okay. Look.
Meat.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I guess that's what I thought they would be. Some of the guns look fun. Okay. Yeah, cool. I like how they're not expensive. And they don't seem to break anything, so I'm into it. Okay. I'm not overwhelmed, but I know I seem maybe underwhelmed, but I'm not. I'm into it. I'll have to look a little bit more later.
Oh, this box was released last week, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's pretty cool.
That they got quick. That they quickly did the new rules. I think so too. I'm glad to see that happening. It's just fun, and honestly, like the Tau Pathfinders got like a little. It was like handled a little differently because they're an existing unit. But I am sort of glad that they weren't just like, hey, just use them as Kroot. You know, that they're their own kind of unit. So very exciting, cool stuff. Thank you, community, for letting me know. Thank you, Brett, for letting me know, even though I
didn't read any of your messages.
Didn't read it because you weren't yelling at me to do something. That's how you get me to read messages.
So really, Brett, you should have just been yelling at Zach to read the new rules.
Yeah, like you have to read these right now. I guess the problem is that it'd be like a boy who cries wolf situation.
Just a boy who cries.
Yeah, it was solidly whelming. I mean, it was just whelming, not over or under. Neutrally whelming. But I think it's cool. More so, I'm just cool that I can paint these guys and use them. I did get excited when whoever it was said that I'll have to get
more.
more. Probably wouldn't get more. But they are cool. And actually, maybe they are good. Honestly, I had to kind of like go. They have all these crazy different guns. I would need to see, and I saw that they do add points, but I would need to kind of go through and see how many they add, like what they add, because it could be cool. Okay, cat check-in, and I mean that in the sense that you're a cat,
literally and figuratively,
and that a cat is being
figuratively.
Oh my gosh! Oh man, we're Soups.
Love
Soups
it.
is gonna be.
Love this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got his first little fur base layer down. Maybe you can see more of his face now. He's just got such a cute little pout.
How are you feeling? You feeling like you're gonna be able to get this guy done in like an hour?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm
I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it. I think it's gonna be good.
I'm excited.
What I am worried about is the base. Now the worst thing about these models is that this is how it comes in the box. Like there's no assembly or anything. I can't pull this apart.
You probably could, but it would have been a mess, and probably
I would have broke something. No. All that point of contact on the base.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, and then there's like mold lines galore and stuff. So, yeah, but he's just so like chunky, and I love it. But yeah, there's 4 cats that come in this box.
Oh, we gonna get a
Yeah. I'll show off the rest of them, which just eats more into my time of being able to paint it. But I think I'm okay. Ooh. So I'll show the art cards as I show them off as well too, because their art cards are pretty cool. So this is one of them, and this is probably my second favorite, I would say. And this is pretty cool. And this is the art card that goes along with it. And then this is my least favorite, mostly just because I think his pose is really weird. But this is the art card that goes along with that.
His pose is weird?
I just don't like his arms. Like, they just look so...
Oh, they look kind of tiny.
Like, he's going... I don't know, like he's like popping up to like scare you in a way. Like it just doesn't look. I wish they were more curled in, is really what it was.
Okay.
And then this one's my like favorite.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, probably everyone can see why I chose this guy to speed paint, because he doesn't have all these crazy bits about him. So, yeah.
I like it.
But anyway, that's the box. And you can just buy these guys by themselves. So if you're like me and don't want to play Nemesis, which I've actually heard is a really fun game, But if you have no interest in playing it, then you can just buy this.
You know, it's interesting. It's an expansion that you're playing, or that you're painting, right? And I sort of feel, I know that this probably isn't 100% true, because certainly a lot of Kickstarters just come out right away with an expansion. They don't even bother to like wait to see if they need an expansion. And I say that as a member of Tabletop Titans, which is exactly what we did with our terrain.
Yes, yeah.
And there's production reasons to do that as well. But overall, I do feel like largely, if a game starts getting expansions, it's usually a good sign that it's like at least somebody's playing it.
Yeah, and there's more expansions for the game
Okay,
as
good.
well.
That's what I was
too.
going to ask. I was going to say, unless there's just one expansion.
Yeah, there's more expansions for the game, but I have no interest in playing it. And it's also like the actual base game itself is huge. It's like a huge miniature like board game. So
Now you and
Yeah.
Lindsay did top 5 board games. But one thing that's kind of a known fact around here. You guys might be surprised to learn that other than John, who is a saint, none of us watch any of each other's shows. And the reason for that, hear me out. Don't before you guys rail on me. The reason for that is we do this all the time, and then like, well, I guess I can't answer for anybody else, but I'm just like, lots of times I'm home on watching. I'm home cooking dinner on like Tuesday or Thursday at like 6 p.m. And Meg's like, "Oh, let's put the show on. Let's put Adrian, John, and Bridger on." I'm like, "Nah."
yeah, I've just seen them all day.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, well, I know what they're doing. I know what they're up to. And I was like, I'm cooking. I don't know. Actually, honestly, a lot of times I just want something funny on, and those guys are very funny. But like, it's during a stream. Well, we're funny. It's during a stream, and it's like not this like packed in. Like comfort food necessarily, although I guess it kind of is.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, this is my big long excuse to say I still don't know your top 5 board games. So I guess I'll have to rewatch.
Yeah, because I was about to say you can just rewatch them all.
I'll watch. And to be 100% honest with you, I did watch some of it, of course, but I think I missed the top 5.
That's fair.
Why was I bringing this up? Oh yeah, I do. Yeah. What kind of board games do you like though?
Mainly like strategic ones. Like my favorite one is TAC, which you don't read, but it's from.
Don't know what this game is either.
It's from the King Killer Chronicles book series, which maybe might be completed this year. I don't know, but it's this game that's like very similar to like chess and checkers. So it's just a 2-player like game. You have a grid, and then you have these stones, these flat stones that you can then either lay down flat, and that's your road, or you can tilt them up, and that's a wall. And the object of the game is to get a completed road from one end of the board to the other. Now it can be north and south or east and west. It doesn't really matter. You just want a completed road from one end of the board to the other.
Okay.
Now a completed road meaning that there's no wall, regardless of whether it's yours, blocking it, and you can't connect diagonally as well either.
Okay.
And
this sounds interesting.
Yeah, so you take turns placing your pieces, but the interesting part of it is because the pieces are flat, unless you place a wall, someone can move one of their pieces on top of yours. And
you can stack. Okay,
you can stack them as high as you want. You have a set number of pieces, depending on how big the board is. And so that's also what I like about it as well, is you can make the grid as big as you want.
Okay.
That just determines how many pieces you have. And so it's really cool. In the book series, that's the game that they play at
that's pretty cool. Okay, that's kind of cool. They like made, sort of like how people tried to imagine that Quidditch was the real thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, not older millennials my generation's finest moment, creating Quidditch leagues.
Yeah.
I'll say it. Not something I'm proud to be part of. It makes me embarrassed for my generation. But look, you know what? I don't know. Maybe it was cool.
You know, they tried, and
tried.
I will give them that.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna fault them for that. But
Yeah. Well, no, hold on. We could fault them for that. I mean, the thing is, listen, I went to music school, and when you're in music school, there are people in the school who play instruments who are not even in the music schools, who are not inevitably going to make it in society purely as that. And that's not even a dig on them. It's saying that like that's not even where I'm going with this. Where I'm going with this is that they need opportunities to play a lot. When they become professionals, let's say they all do become professionals, they will actually in a lot of ways be playing in some ways more, in some ways less. But what I'm getting at is oftentimes my friends and I had this joke about things like a trombone quartet. Like the trombone players need to be playing, so they need all the opportunities in the world they can play, to play chamber music, to play in orchestras, to play jazz if they're doing jazz. But in reality, nobody will ever pay and go to listen to a trombone quartet. It simply does not need to exist, right? So just because you can, doesn't mean you should. And that's when you fault somebody for trying, I think. And you say, just because... And I guess the problem with a Quidditch league is like you can't. It's like just because you can't doesn't mean you shouldn't. And then they're like, but Quidditch doesn't even do that. You can't. Just because you can't doesn't mean you shouldn't.
Right.
But they did anyway. So they shouldn't have. They can't, but they did. Oh, you know what? I'm back on board. You're right. It's super cool now. Now I'm back on board. Because you can't do it. You can't make a Quidditch league. Because you can't play Quidditch. Because you can't fly on brooms. Because there's no flying brooms. Or golden snitch that flies around. Because we're not wizards.
Yeah.
So you can't do it.
Yep.
You shouldn't do it.
Yep.
But they did it anyway.
Yep.
I'm back on board.
Yeah.
We went full circle.
They're pioneers.
Yeah, they're pioneers.
Yeah.
Because they did something not only that they shouldn't have done, but they actually can't.
But they did.
But they did.
Yes.
Wow. I actually did not think about that would be something I would think about when I got up this morning.
Do you normally go, oh, I wonder how things are going to go? Like, I wonder what kind of conversations I'm going to have today? Is that like a normal thought that you have?
No.
Okay.
You called me out. You're right. That said, not that attitude. Yeah. Yeah, drones. You could do like a drone Quidditch league. But listen, Broken Chef.
I don't know if I want to ever like reach my hand out and like catch a drone.
Yeah. No, I think Broken Chef is even saying that everything is a drone.
Oh, well, they do have drone racing.
That is a thing. Brett's in chat. That was, a lot of people don't know this. That was, Brett in another life was like this major drone racing guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. Like, it's officially on ESPN, but so is cornholing. So...
Yeah, cornhole, but cornhole being in on ESPN is kind of interesting because it's like it shows how a bar sport becomes a sport, and probably every sport starts out as like a folk sport, right? And kind of shows how that happens over time. Peter, thank you for the super chat so much. Peter's asking, what did I study in music school? What instrument, theory, etc. So when I was in undergrad,
I believe we missed one.
We missed a super chat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one, too. It's Broken Chef. We're going to get that one.
There's another one from Liberty Fires.
Really?
No, underneath that? Oh, scroll up?
Scroll up. Should I scroll really fast?
No. Oh, no, it was Broken Chef. Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry.
Does it help if I scroll
it just
really?
looked like a Liberty Fires super chat. Sorry.
It is a Liberty Fires style super chat.
Yes.
Yeah. Liberty Fires is going to have to move on to a new game. Peter, when I was in school, in undergrad, I was mostly jazz focused, and I did bass, like upright bass, which I think I can still play. I haven't played it in a while, but I'm pretty sure it would come back to me. I'd have to regain my calluses, which were pretty gnarly when you play that instrument, and pretty painful. But I think I'd come back. And then what I really then focused on though in grad school was, as you say, music theory and writing music. And I didn't actually audition in grad school on bass even. I kind of gave it up. And then don't even have one anymore. We ended up selling it. It's actually a bad instrument to play and have if you are like not doing it as your main thing, because it's huge. It's like a piece of furniture. Like to put it in your apartment. Like if you play like a trumpet, you're like, cool, the trumpet goes over there. If you play upright bass, you're like, okay, like what piece of furniture are we removing from our apartment to make room for this thing? Because it's huge. And so that was kind of a bummer. But one day I'll get one again and maybe play it. I mean, I'm not going to get it if I'm not going to play it. So.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the kind of attitude that you have with that, though, of like, oh, I haven't played it in a while, but I think I can pick it back up again, is the same thing with me with
designing
piano.
Airplanes.
Yes.
Oh, piano.
Yes.
Yeah, you could pick piano back up again. Yeah, I mean, you'd be fast tracked is kind of the way to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be like a, can I stretch my fingers like that again? And can I like move my hand that fast again? Like,
yeah.
Confidently is really what it is.
Yeah. Music theory, if you knew any of that, that'll come back to you too. I have not lost any of my music theory knowledge. I can still do that pretty good. I still use that, frankly, when I write music, so I can do that fine. But the playing would take a little bit to come back. Thank you, Peter, so much. Do appreciate it. Are you, Peter, if you're still around, I'm kind of curious I'm guessing you're like a music person, or you might not have asked that. Okay, I'm going to check and see if you respond to that, Peter. In the meantime, Broken Chef, here we go. Liberty Fire style from Broken Chef. Thank you, by the way, Broken Chef, so much. Zach and Kat, top 5 cats in media, go. Now, this is funny before you get there. We actually didn't do a top 5 today because we had other stuff going on. We got a little busy. And I was working on the computer on some other stuff, but we missed this one. We were like, what should we do? Top 5 something? And we could have done top 5 cats. It should not have taken Broken Chef super chatting us to do it. But now we do have to think a little bit about it. Although there's a lot of cats in media. I know your favorite one. Mm-hmm. I know your favorite one. It's the guy in your, from the anime from the 80s. The store. Well,
Gigi.
Yeah, from that.
Kiki's Delivery Service.
Yeah,
yes.
Kiki's Delivery Service. Yeah. Okay, is that your favorite one? Did I get it? Okay, yes. What's my favorite cat? Top 5.
Salem from Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Is that what you're going to guess for me? I seem like a person that would watch? Or is that you? Are you saying for you?
I don't know. It's a suggestion that I'm going to throw out there.
That I should like that? I've never seen Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Okay, so yeah. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I think though that was this. Yeah. Okay. No, I've never seen it. Top 5 cats in media. Hold on. There's some really cool cat characters. Honestly, probably not Garfield. Are you a Garfield fan?
No.
Not really.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that period in time in do you remember it actually personally in that period in time in the teens and 20s and 30s and 40s where cartoons were like real gross and like vaudeville-y? Yeah. And there's Felix the cat. Yep. And he's pretty cool. I like that guy.
So is he your number one?
He's in the top 5 for sure.
Oh, okay, so not your number one.
He's not my number one.
There's another comic cat though, like a Sunday comic cat that has grown in popularity. I can't remember the name.
A Sunday comic cat.
Yeah, like a newspaper comic cat.
Well, remember Heathcliff? He was like a Garfield knockoff, but a little edgier.
No.
I mentioned Snagglepuss earlier. Not sure how we got back around to potentially having...
Grumpy cat. Bongo Cat is... it's such a great cat, but it's not a media, is really what it is. So, yeah, I guess, do comic books count? Well, no, but there is a comic.
Media. Yeah, that counts.
Okay.
Thundercats. Yeah, do Thundercats count? Are they really cats?
Yeah, I never watched Thundercats. So, I guess that wouldn't be my thing.
So, we're not going to pick that one, sounds like. Yeah, interesting.
There's Smelly Cat from Friends.
Smelly, but you never see a smelly cat. It's just a song.
Yeah.
And it's really annoying. And actually, Phoebe is probably my second favorite friend. And that's like one of the worst parts about Phoebe is the smelly cat stuff. Like, I just skip the smelly cat episodes. And actually, I don't rewatch Friends because I'm not that into it. But if I did, I would skip the smelly cat episodes with Phoebe.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's the new video game, Stray.
Oh, Stray.
Yeah.
You're just a cat.
You're a cat. And I like them a lot. But, like, you are the cat, you know? And so it's not like the cat has a whole lot of personality. It's like you're essentially reacting to the world around you.
Now, can we pick things on YouTube?
Yeah, it's media, right?
Okay, well, then I pick this cat. One of my favorite cats. Not my favorite, though.
Okay.
One of my favorites.
Okay.
Is
So
you,
Felix,
is
me.
Cat. Okay. No, I like you more than Felix. And honestly, like if I had to pick time between spending time with you and just like hanging out, doing some hobbying, or Felix, I think I'd pick you. I imagine I'd get in some big trouble with Felix. And quite frankly, nowadays, if it got probably some bad stuff.
I guess really now what I'm struggling with is thinking of cats in media. Because the moment that I get asked a question, it's like all of that information just like goes somewhere else.
This is why we prep our top fives. Because we come in around noon. And we're like, hey everybody, here's the top, whether it's you and me or whatever. Like if it's you, I message you like in the morning. I'm like, okay, start thinking about
this.
Start thinking about your top five. And we waited too long today to do it. And now here we are, and we're not good at it, as you guys can tell.
Yeah, because I never watched Thundercats.
I feel like Gargamel's cat from Smurfs. I forget his name, but he was there. Yeah, old person channel. Yeah. Well, look, Broken Chef.
And for some reason, I keep thinking of Snoopy.
Snoopy's
Snoopy's not a cat.
Yeah. There's Tom from Tom and Jerry's. Okay. And in that similar vein, there's Scratchy from Itchy and Scratchy on The Simpsons. There's Mr. Kitty from South Park.
There's the villain cats from
Cats versus Dogs.
No. Well, there's a villain cats from Feifel. Was that those cats? I think those were cats. But no, now I just thought of the Aristocrats.
Aristocrats is good,
yeah.
and also Aristocrats is good. And also what's the movie that's mostly dogs, but then there's like a cat?
Homeward Bound.
No, well, yeah, the Homeward Bound cat's pretty cool.
Sassy.
Yeah, those dogs would have been in big trouble. Actually, that is true because dogs' sense of like getting back to a place is not very good, but cats is like amazing. Mm-hmm. And do they play? Don't they? They play with that at least in the second one, I think. The fact that she's actually the only one that knows the way back home or something, because it is like a real thing. Like dogs are actually horrible at this.
I don't know.
This is why like cats will like.
You can have indoor outdoor cats.
Or like it's lots of times like I grew American Tail. Yes, maybe. No, yeah. What's the one where Billy Joel plays the cat? What is that one called? Yeah, Billy Joel plays the cat. I can't remember. Anyway, that's the thing. So where I grew up in like rural Pennsylvania, like people would sometimes move from like one house to another house like 3 or 4 miles away. And what will happen is if you take your cat will keep going back to the old house. Mm-hmm. It knows to then come back to the new house, but it'll like go back to the old house to like check it out or like it'll try to live there like it still lives there.
Right.
And they can like find their way back like very far. Like
yeah, I think it's been a thing of like And people have been curious about like what their cat does when they're like at work, and they've put like GPS.
Oh yeah, they go crazy. Some of them. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they like have like this like 100-kilometer radius around your house or something like that.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
something insane.
It's insane. Yes, Oliver and Company. Thank you. The cat from Oliver and Company.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm thinking is Oliver.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eek the cat. Oh yeah. Oh, and here's another one. Stimpy from Ren and Stimpy. Pretty great. Okay, so there you go, Broken Chet. There's some good cats out there. I'm not sure who my favorite
You're just
is.
listing cats now.
Might be Oliver from Oliver and Company.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose Oliver too.
He's pretty cute. Otherwise, maybe Sassy from Homeward Bound. Maybe, Eat the Cat. Oh my God, I forgot about Eat the Cat. Wow, I need to look that up. That's like a blast from the past. And then maybe Stimpy. No, I don't know. I like Ren and Stimpy, but I don't really like either of the characters. I think that's kind of the purpose of Ren and Stimpy.
Is that they're annoying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Weird. It's just weird. It's just twisted and weird. Okay, can I pass my Kroot?
Yeah.
I'll give a little Kroot update. He's coming along pretty good. He looks so tiny just sitting there. There we go, a little Kroot. No, I don't like Simba from The Lion King, Brett. Actually, I hate Simba. Actually,
I was just doing like just cats.
Just cats,
like
not,
just
yeah.
house cats.
And
Simba's very selfish.
Yeah, Simba sucks. If we're doing like other cats, both the cats, Shere Khan, and then who's the other cat from Jungle Book?
Okay.
Both the cats, the panther and the tiger from Jungle Book, are way more cool than Simba, who, quite frankly, not into it.
Oh, and then there's Jasmine's tiger. What was his name?
I don't know, but he doesn't do anything.
From Aladdin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there was another Kat and I both just went silent while we thought about other cats. For sure, that is what just happened, I think, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Michael Cody. You broke me tonight. I'm literally questioning my ability to process information now. You guys have a good night. I'm curious what did that, Michael Cody. You're still in chat, I can see. I know, Michael Cody.
I want to say you're probably your Quidditch.
Oh, my take on Quidditch. Look,
We're gonna have Quidditch Titans now.
The people that watch our show are quick to rake me over the coals for a bad opinion, and I saw really no one backing up Quidditch on this. No one hopped in and was like, "No, that was really cool." When a bunch of people, full-grown people in their late 20s and early 30s,
did this thing. Yeah.
tried to make a sport up that. Reenact a sport that involves flying broomsticks. Yeah, nobody really jumped in and did that. So I think I got off the hook easy on this one. You never really faced any kind of reckoning for your stamp thing.
No, I think most people are just kind of
Agreeing with you
yeah.
that stamps are like not that
they're just useless.
that they're. Oh my God! Yeah, I mean, look. When you're right, you're right.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Now I'm just thinking about cats.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael Cody. In all seriousness, if all seriousness is a thing that exists here, which I'm not sure it does.
Very rarely.
Not sure it does. How is your cat? Like, what percent are you at? Actually, here's a good question for you. Here's a good question for a cat. As she paints a cat. What percent are you? And what percent?
Percent cat, am
No, yeah.
I? Okay.
What? Yeah, I've always wondered what percent cat are you? No, what percent are you on this thing? And what percent are you? More interestingly, maybe what percent are you feeling like you? I'm trying to think how to ask this. Like, if you weren't speed painting, how did those numbers change? So in other words, like speed paint wise, you're at what percent? And then like traditional cat spending like a couple weeks on it, what would you say?
I
And be honest, because what I'm kind of curious about is, I guess I'm curious, like, about in general for myself and for you, because we're both trying to improve in the opposite direction, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of trying to wonder, like, what the delta is, or what the gulf between those two are. And like, if you're like, oh, I'm at 75%, but if I really want to take my time, I'd be at like 5% or whatever. That's big.
Right.
But if the number was small, then it kind of makes me think about like how to prioritize things.
I guess speed painting wise, like, because to me, I think of it as like satisfaction level. Am I satisfied with this? No. But would I be upset if this is where I ended it? No, not at all. And there's always more that I want to do.
There's always more you can do, of course, right?
Yeah. So I guess it's really just a
It's not a quitted situation. You can do it, but then should you do it? So it's more of a trombone quartet.
Yeah.
Less of a quidditch, more of a trombone quartet.
Yeah.
Can you do it?
Percentage wise, I'd say I'm about like 80%.
Oh wow.
Yeah, there's like a little bit of like details and stuff, and I want to pick out his little toe beans, and I need to decide on like a nose color and an eye color.
Okay.
But other than that, maybe I'll fix this base.
Okay.
But that's it.
Interesting.
Right, as far as like, okay, everything has been touched.
Okay.
And for speed painting, I really think that's like the main factor is like, has everything been touched?
Oh, okay. That's a really interesting phrasing for it. And I'm not saying that to be silly. I genuinely mean that. Like that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can go up from there of like, okay, in this amount of time, what were you able to get accomplished? Was it just base coat? Was it base coat, highlight and a wash, if that's how you're going with it? Was it, more than that, right? It's also another thing of like, I am struggling with holding my brush steady tonight.
Oh yeah?
So, yeah, I might have had too much coffee.
That happens though sometimes. I've had that happen for sure.
So
you're like, oops.
I am a little shaky, but it's okay. I might have
happens.
just had way too much coffee. It's okay. I got new coffee. I'm still trying to test out like what my limits on it are. So I've been either really tired or way too caffeinated
Interesting.
this week. So
that sounds like over the course of a week, like it would be kind of exhausting.
kind of.
To be in one of those two states all the time.
Maybe. One would think, I guess. But also, I don't give my body a choice of like whether or not I'm going to fall asleep, because if there's ever a question of am I going to be able to fall asleep, I just take melatonin.
Oh, interesting.
It's probably not the greatest, but it's better than
not falling asleep.
Yeah, exactly. It's better than not getting sleep.
Yeah, definitely, right? If those are the two options.
Yeah, get sleep or take melatonin. I'm going to take melatonin.
Interesting. Well, look, for sure, I can tell Kat and I are in that stage where we are both really honing in on what we're doing. And what that means to me is that we need a pick-me-up.
And it's time for fan stuff?
And that means it's time for some fan stuff.
Yay!
Yeah, absolutely. How was fan? This was a Kat fan stuff selection, which means there's a lot of them. She loves you guys maybe more than me, and I love you guys a decent amount. So
it's a lot.
Imagine whatever you want with that equation.
What percentage really is, I guess, for you to find out?
Okay.
Chat.
So you're gonna have to take us through some of these choices. Ooh,
yeah.
This is just like they're making a. Oh, it's a Votan. It's Votan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a little bit of Votan here, right?
Yes. Yeah. The little weird
The dwarves.
alien dudes. Yeah. They're super cute. Yes. But yeah, chat was going crazy with the Votan stuff. I guess not chat, but like the community was going crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Votan stuff, which I adored, and I immediately was like, what is this? I'm seeing this everywhere. And you're like, oh, it's this. And I'm like, okay, cool. So
It's Votan, yeah. The newest army in the 40K universe.
the newest army to break the world.
So yeah, people are up in arms. I did get a chance to play against them and got absolutely massacred, but I don't think it had to go that way. Maybe with the two lists Bridger and I both had, it did have to go that way. But I don't think that, I don't know. I think people will figure them out.
Well, it's kind of what happened with the Tyranids, right? When the new book came out, they were a little.
It's happened more than once.
I guess just in like recent.
Yes,
times,
yeah, even recently though. Yeah, you're right. When Tyranids came out, they were pretty cray. Look, like I said, people will figure this out.
Or
Or it'll get fixed.
yeah, there'll be FAQs. So
Yeah, both of those things happen.
But anyway, the shoulder pad
The shoulder pad's pretty cool.
is really cool.
It's just sculpted, huh?
Yeah, some green stuff.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I'm curious how they did it and how many they're doing. Oh, this is cool. This is this Archeon?
No.
Who is this? What is this? Oh, it's a fate. It's a Lord of Change. It's a Lord of Change. Yeah, it looks super cool. I don't know why I thought that was Archeon. Yeah, super cool.
Yeah, I like the ombre on the wings.
It's a good
lot.
picture too.
Yeah, there's a ton of pictures as well.
Of this guy?
On Discord. Yeah,
Okay.
there's like, a whole 360 view of him. So, yeah, I really liked the wings a lot, which is why I picked this picture rather than any other picture where it was like, here's this and here's that. I like the wings a lot on this one. I like this color a lot.
The like grayish blue type thing.
No, the wings.
Oh, the wings.
Yeah. Like a mauve maroon
Yeah.
fade out. Yeah, I liked it. I guess ombre, but yeah.
The mauve maroon. Yeah, you would have loved how my mom decorated our house in 1992. If you like mauve.
Well, it's when I was born, so
Okay. This is cool. This is great.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I just thought it
It's
was really
a
cool.
thousand sun. Yeah, it's a thousand sun.
It's
sorcerer.
it's one of a
It's
thousand.
one of the thousand suns. Yeah, it looks great. Yeah, I kind of like. I really like when people do the purple with thousand suns, as like the secondary color. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of into it.
Well, because it's like purple and turquoise-y, right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And they're such like good contrasting colors to each other. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Nice. It looks like a nice washing and like depth creation on the gold as well. Oh, here's Broken Chef. Speaking of. Oh, I love the base Broken Chef. Kind of curious. Oh, and I know what it is that you liked about this, right?
The eyeballs.
The eyeballs.
Yeah, I thought they were really cool. Now you can tell that they're like added pieces and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like I just felt like it was like, oh, that's a really quick, easy way to like get this to stand out.
To
To look really
take
neat.
nurglings and make
Yeah.
them a little more just different than what other people's nurglings look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, curious, Broken Chef, how you did that. What'd you use for those? I think he's still in chat. Curious what you did for that, because I'm pretty into it as well. Very nice, very nice. Moving on. Oh, I might have to. These are Marines. I might have to run over and look at.
Yeah,
them.
they're super bright and very clean, which is my reasoning.
Oh yeah,
for
and I also
picking these.
like. I like the like. Not like, well, I like the blue. I like the shade of blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like fluorescent blue. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, I just liked how like smooth and clean and bright they were.
Yeah, very nice.
So yeah, it's like a stark difference between like super grungy, whatever, which I also would like. But there's just times where you like a clean Space Marine.
Yeah, I think so. I actually do like clean Space Marines, but like you said, anything that's done well is
Good.
yeah.
Is done well.
If I did my own Space Marines, I would probably not do grungy, but I love it, and these look great. Yeah, super nice. Oh, this is Mortarion? Yeah. This is nice.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on here. I like.
Yes.
What is this red on his wing?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. But the person said that they spent like hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on it. And so I'm like, this is really cool. And you can tell that they spent a long time on it, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot going on. But
In a good way.
he's a model that has a lot going on regardless. So, yeah.
Yeah, I realize saying there's a lot going on is sort of like saying, like, describing something as interesting. It can make people be like, wait, what do you mean by that, right? But I think there's a lot going on in a good way, so I'm into it personally.
Yeah. I like when, like, there's a lot going on, but everything is touched. Like I mentioned before, like
Everything is touched,
everything has some sort of like time and attention on it, which I can appreciate because it's hard when you have such a big model and or like with anything chaos, there's just so much on it. And you're like, it's almost exhausting painting it sometimes.
Yeah, both Moritarian and the Magnus models, I've not worked on any of them. They do look, exhausting is almost a good word for it. Like, as Moritarian especially. There's a lot, yeah, and you have to like go and deal with everything, exactly like you're saying. Peter, thank you for the super chat. So if you're not part of the Titans Discord, join Titans Discord. I think, unfortunately, there's not a link to it in this channel, but go to Tabletop Titans and look at any of their videos. And there is, we have the link on some of our videos, but it actually might not be on today's video. Join Titans Discord. It's free to do, obviously. And there's a hobby progress. There's a number of hobby channels, or hobby, yeah.
Yeah, most of the ones I've pulled when I do fan stuff is I'll go into Hobby Progress because there's the Hobby Titans like chat or talk or whatever.
Yeah.
And normally people don't post a ton of pictures in there. I will always look through everything, but the Hobby Progress is usually where most people post their pictures of their stuff. Now, I will try, and I guess to tell you my picking criteria is if you put your name on it, I will pick it. If it doesn't upload, I will try my best, but sometimes like the formatting is weird or the file itself is weird, so anything like a JPEG works.
Yeah. There's a couple weird formats that sometimes show up that we don't, that like we have to do a thing or two.
And some, like if I can convert it, I'll try.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just doesn't want to. Like all of Soup's stuff for some reason.
They didn't convert today, right?
Doesn't want to do it. And I was having this problem last week as well too. So
but
I'm sorry.
We previously had his stuff on. I don't know if Soups, if you start using something different. So name on it is good. Name on it is very good. So
if you have a clean background.
Clean background's good. Like this one is not what we mean by clean background, but Kat still picked it because it's cool.
It's got a clean enough background.
It's clean enough, and the very first one was a good example, right? The first video today, and we'll show you another clean background at some point. Oh, this is a pretty clean background. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty clean background.
Yeah. Okay, this is awesome. And Nick actually literally is in chat saying he hopes his stuff gets shown. I'm guessing this might be you, Nick. Sylvaneth, love these guys. These guys are like big right now. Everybody loves their Carnoth hunters with giant scythes. And these guys look cool. I honestly like Sylvaneth armies are this army that has the potential to just look like incredible. Of course, every army has that potential, but I don't know. For me, Sylvaneth, when painted really well, people can really get into like these interesting, like, oh, I'm doing fall or I'm doing this type of tree or whatever.
Birch tree. Yeah. That's my favorite part about Sylvaneth is, well, I think most AOS armies as well too, is you can kind of go crazy with it and pick a theme instead of just like, this is my chapter and this is my like house and this is, I'm Slytherin, right? But like,
I'm Slytherin.
I don't know. But like before, coming here, I didn't know that there were different Necron like factions.
Oh,
I
see.
just thought all Necrons were the same, but then it's like, no, what kind of Necrons are there? And I'm like, I don't know, dude.
Oh, right. Like the different dynasties, they're called.
Yeah, and so that was like weird. But I think that's like my biggest turnoff with 40K is like, and now everyone says like, oh, you can kind of do whatever you want, but there are special rules that go with specific chapters and dynasties and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
so.
kind of. You can of course you can of course paint it however you want, but like if you are saying like, oh, my yellow Space Marines are going to be Ultramarines today.
Yeah,
Space Marines in particular, people kind of look at you. Adrian and I spent a lot of time, like even when we did Votan, we looked at the different houses, and he kind of picked a color scheme that could work for like 3 of the 6 that they introduced. Because they like you can kind of do that. You can look and be like, oh, these Necrons are supposed to look like this. These are supposed to look like this.
Right.
And what if I paint them like this? Well, there's the orange to show this one color, and there's the green, and that kind of shows. And you can come up with creative color schemes to do that. But I get your point. That said, that does happen a little bit in AOS as well. That certainly the Sigmarines are kind of like that. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking like of the painting section of my daughter's Arcane. And they have them all as a different look, but it doesn't feel like they're committing to that look necessarily. Like they're not like Hagnar always has these colors or anything like that. They just, I don't know. I know what you mean though. Nick, these look awesome. And obviously I want to see more of this. Be very interested to see a Tree Lord. And I'm very interested always to see a Warsong Revenant because Warsong Revenant, one of the coolest models. I will say this though, Nick. Hopefully we get to play one day. I'm like 3-0 in competitive settings against Sylvanet. They're big boogeymen right now. But something about them makes my army a hard matchup. I've been like basically chopping firewood going up against these dudes.
Oof.
Yeah, so throw down, Nick, one time.
Challenge.
Yeah, challenge. Oh, this guy looks so sick. Yeah, I was seeing you pick this one earlier. Yeah. The Necron characters are so cool, and when people do a cool job painting them, like it's more cool. So overall, I guess I would say this is pretty cool.
Right, and like, I don't know. I guess it's a little harder to like break your like thought process with something so almost like rigid like 40K, where if it's not these colors, I'm like, I don't know what it is, and I don't know. Maybe it's just like toxic fans of the game.
Yeah. That's definitely that shouldn't be the norm.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Look,
but these are super cool.
Look, you work at a game store, so you're gonna experience some of those folks, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
just-
I do put myself in the environment to get
Daily.
Okay.
Really.
Okay. So Fugs is saying have Cat guess a dynasty. Can I get this as like a multiple choice question? Because I'm just not gonna get it if you don't give me an option.
I'm not gonna get it. I don't know what dynasty this is. I don't know the different. I mean, I know like Novak. I know Mefrit. But otherwise, I don't really know. Cat, we painted some for like a special project. Those were Novak? Or no, those are Mefrit. Do you remember even which ones they were?
Nihilak?
It was neither of those? Neither of those sound familiar.
No.
So it wasn't either of those? Okay.
What's the oxide paint?
Nikolai? Or
Nihilak or something?
Nihilak?
Yeah.
It was that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. Nihilak, yeah.
So I know it's not this. I know it's not that.
Yeah. So she wants to know if she could get multiple choice, so she could hope.
Fog that up. I don't know which one. All right, Fugs.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Is this an actual dynasty?
A Necron player would know, and it might not be. Yeah, it might not be. I don't really feel like I.
Yeah, because when I looked up Necron Dynasty, like
red wasn't a thing, huh?
No. So I don't know. It might just be. Let's go with Predator Dynasty, because it kind of looks like the Predator.
Predator Dynasty. Either way, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Good pick, Cat. Yeah, I do like this a lot. Yeah, Necrons are cool. I think they get a little bit of flack for being like this army that isn't that flavorful, but I think they can be. But it is an army that it did get some centerpieces, like the Silent King. But it is an army that's like has the ability to just have like this kind of impressive factor when it's all fully painted.
Yeah, that's fair. So I recently read a book that I came to find out was written by someone who plays 40K. And it's a sci-fi book. And I highly recommend it. It's a really good book. It's called Children of Time by Adrian Tchaikovsky. And there's a people or an organism in it that highly reminds me of the Necrons. And so like when I found out that the person was a fan of 40K, I was like making comparisons and stuff, and it was kind of cool to compare it. It didn't take away from the book at all.
Oh,
but
cool.
Yeah, it was a really good book. But if you have arachnophobia, please don't read it. So yeah, but it's a really good book. It's called Children of Time, and it's a sci-fi book. And that's all I'm going to say about it.
Thank you, Belgo. Quick diversion from fan stuff here. Thank you, Belgo. Belgo says, was in a trombone quintet at Berkeley, and we played Boplicity, which I kind of know. I mean, I feel like I've heard this title before. And we killed it. I'm sure you did. Also, no one asked for it, but we still did it. I now play the bass. This is great. I think that you are indicating a great pathway for somebody, because what you're saying is that you took your music skills and you put it towards an instrument that does have higher demand, bass, whether that be honestly electric or upright, like I used to play. And you're right, nobody asked for it, but you played it, and it helped you become a better musician. And that's why we put that in the category of you can do it, but should you? And then you have to really answer that question. Whereas Quidditch is you can't do it.
But
and you shouldn't.
You shouldn't. But
do
they
it,
did.
And you also can't do it.
Yeah, but they did.
But they did it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Nick, we're gonna get back to yours. Back to fan stuff for a second here. Oh no.
Yeah. Once you, it's okay. It's easy enough.
Oh
to go
look,
back
clean
there.
background. Both of these. Clean background. Clean
Yeah.
background.
Even if it's
Pretty
your hobby
good background.
desk,
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's not not
like
bad, right?
like that's fine too, because most of it's like most of that background is, like the table.
Yeah.
But like just put a piece of paper back or whatever.
Oh, this looks awesome.
Yeah.
You were telling me that this has been like a
series.
A series, right?
So this is Timbit, and it started like almost a month ago. He posted the little eagle and was like, "Oh, this is freehand stuff, freehand practice." And then he posted the Oni face with the eagle, and now this is done, and I think it's incredible. And you can see that there's like more freehand on the back of it as well too. But this is really cool. But yeah, Timbit was the one who inspired me to like do some freehanding, which is what I did last week. So if you guys want to check that out, you get a really cool shot of the top of the lamp, but we fix it later on in the stream. So, or you can just love the lamp along with everyone else in chat. But yeah, this is just so good.
Yeah, this is great. And it's interesting because the paint job on it is great.
Timbit's in chat. Yeah.
Yeah, the paint job on it is very great. Like it's really good. It's nice. It's like grungy, but well done. He's got weathering in the treads. It's super cool. But like if he didn't have that freehand, you'd be like, oh wow, that's just a really well done Land Raider. But the freehand just like adds this layer to it, right? And this is the type of, you're right, it's absolutely the type of stuff I need to be thinking about doing more. I'm actually about to do some literally right now. It's not going to look like this because this is crazy good. But yeah, I'm into it. It's actually fun. I didn't get to see the journey, but I'm glad to see the result. Here you go. You're into these guys.
I'm super into them.
We found Cat's 40K faction.
I think they're so cute.
Yeah.
I think they're the cutest things. And I also love what the community has done with them as well too. And they were making me just laugh. Because I think everyone else thinks they're really cute too. And so I'm finding that people are painting them up super cute.
Well, here's what's interesting about them. When Games Workshop was previewing these guys, they really shied away.
From the cute factor?
from having them masked with their helmets closed, and instead they were showing them with their their helmets open, and like you could see the dwarf face and stuff. And they all kind of like, I don't know, they all have like this like mid last decade, like just look of like, I don't know. Yeah.
So
they're ugly. They're just like ugly dudes. Right?
yeah, in my opinion, I think Games Workshop has, as a miniature, like in a figure company, they have the worst faces. The worst faces.
Oh, interesting.
That I've ever seen. I don't like them. Even like they all just look big, angry. That's it.
Yeah. Now, okay, that's fair. Now, question. I totally know what you're talking about, but what about like, would you feel that way about like, even like the elves they do and stuff? Okay.
More so with elves, because I want their elves to be like elegant, and they're just not. They're ugly. I think they're really ugly.
Okay.
So if a helmet is an option, I'm gonna put a helmet on them.
Well, yeah, and I'm actually largely the same way. But what I will say, Kroot faces are super cool. But again, they're kind of supposed to be like this ugly bird alien, right?
Right.
You're
but
saying like
that's
referentially.
like any humanoid thing. So like the dwarves.
Well, hold on now. We defined humanoid earlier
as
today,
hands,
and
yes.
we said just hands.
So anything
Kroot
that
do have
has
hands. Kroot have hands.
So anything that has like skin.
Kroot have skin.
Do they?
Yes, of course they have cat.
I figured
just
that
talked
they
about
would
the
be
oily
covered in
skin.
like scales or something.
No, it's skin.
Okay.
Okay, I'm messing with you. I know what you mean. You mean like, you mean human adjacent.
Yeah, like human. Okay, I guess I shouldn't say humanoid, but human looking-ish. So like elves, dwarves, space marines. I want the elves to be more elegant. And like pretty. I want them to be pretty, like typical elves. And then the sisters just look like they took the male space marine heads and put hair on them. So,
Yeah.
I want them to look more feminine, I guess, is really what it is.
I get it.
Yeah. Not so angry yell all the time. Like I want like a different thing. But like the thing that I like the thing that I like about these guys is their helmets. And like how round and domed and just squat they look.
Yeah.
They look like characters from Among Us. And now I want to paint them all different colors, and I think that'd be really cute.
Yeah, I think that's what makes them all look cute now. And everyone realizes now that when you see the horde of them, you see the whole unit, you see them all together, and they're not like these gross looking dudes on the inside. You see the helmet clothes. They do look cute. But GW wasn't showing them that way. They never showed them in more than like one or two in like a picture. And they never showed them with the helmets closed. But when you see like 10 of them with the helmets closed, yeah, they really look like cute little like guys coming to like
mess you up, yeah.
I guess,
they break the game, right?
Right. Yeah. But they don't look like they're coming to mess you up. They look like futuristic like Santa's helpers.
They're really angry, tubby cats, in my opinion. I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also agree with Timbit saying that they paint their own faces particularly poorly. That I also agree with that.
I do know Pat. Yeah. There's squats, but yeah.
Here's another one.
Another one. This person agrees. They're very cute. Very cute.
This is so. One thing that they have is they have these things called ironkin, and they give you a dome for the ironkin. I'll actually go grab off to the side here, Kat, so you can see.
Ooh.
The ironkin are they don't have different rules, and they just fit into the squad. And basically, like the Votan are like very inclusive of robots. And
I think I found my 40K army.
What's that?
I think I found my 40K
Yeah.
faction.
So here is a Votan. Here's a normal Votan with his helmet on. Okay, and then here's an Ironkin, and that one has that dome thing, and he's a robot. He's not a real person. He's not a real Votan. But that's what they do. That they just have these robots, and like it doesn't have special rules or anything. It's just like in their lore. He's just like they just build robots that are like them.
Tell me this doesn't look like Baymax.
I don't. What is that?
From oh, you're gonna lose your spot.
What is that? What is Baymax? What is that?
From a Pixar movie, I believe. But he's oh, it's kind of sad. But he's this like soft medical robot-y looking guy. Here, I'll look him up on my phone. And you
Are you
can...
talking about Wally?
No.
Oh, Big Hero 6. Big Hero 6. Yes,
yeah.
I know who you're talking about. Yes, yes. I think Adrian brought that up. I'm not super familiar with. I don't know if I've even ever seen Big Hero 6. Because I'm 40 and don't have kids, so I don't. I probably haven't seen it, but I know what I do know what you're talking about. This is like getting dangerously close to me, like going on a Minions rant as well.
Oh, okay.
Like why I don't like get what the deal with Minions are. But yeah, it's super cool. Okay, real quick, go through these again. All very cool, very cool. Here we go. There we go. Second one. Oh yes. Okay, so this is Dungeon Master, and he was talking about this on Tabletop Titans last night with us a little bit, and he was talking with Adrian and I about it, and then finally shared it, and it looks amazing, dude. The obviously, like I'm gonna say that the wings are incredible. And in Discord, he like posted this and tagged Adrian and I, but of course everybody saw it, and everybody was like, "Dude, the wings are amazing." It's not just that the wings are well done; it's honestly like every now and then someone just like picks a color for something that we haven't been seeing, but it just is like now after Dungeon Masters Magnus the Red with those wings, like you're gonna see somebody else do those wings that color. Like it's like a trend setting. It's a trend setting color scheme for Magnus the Red. Well done.
He's
Amazing.
red. Yeah, well, orange, but yeah.
Mini. We don't really do this, but if we did do it, mini of the week right here. For me.
Ooh.
Yeah, mini of the
favorite
week.
cat. Yeah.
Favorite. Yeah.
No, it was incredible. There's also a ton of pictures of like detail shots of everything. I wish I could include them all in here, but it's already been established that I have no impulse control when it comes to choosing. I have a little bit. I do have a criteria that I like to stick to. And my big thing is like clean backgrounds. And so if you find that like you are posting pictures and like I'm not choosing them, it might just be background or maybe it was like unfocused or something like that. But yeah, there's a ton of details on this guy. And like close-up shots of him as well too, which I really appreciate. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very nice.
But I like the blue and the orange.
Okay, we got a little. I love this thing, the little ATV, little Space Marine ATV thing.
A little quad bike. Yeah.
Love this thing. It's just nicely done. This is great. This is like a feel-good model painted in a feel-good way. It's just like it's Ultramarines. It's just like peak show up. And like, I don't know, it reminds you of the type of thing that back in the 2000s and maybe even 90s when this model didn't even exist, that people are like, this is why you play 40K right here. You show up.
Oh, interesting.
And it's just like this. Oh, it's just like classically painted Ultramarines, looking Ultramarine-y, and their Ultramarine-y vehicle. It's just like, oh, and the base is like just this like great, similar to my Tau bases actually, and it's just like, this is great. I don't know. Like honestly, this thing just has such a classic look. It's
just like if you
see this whole army.
If you picture Space Marine, it's this.
It's this.
Or sorry, Ultramarine.
Ultramarines. Yeah, it's this. And it's not that I just want to see this whole army. I'm getting up like I have a toothpick back here, but I don't. So I already knew that. So okay, I'm gonna use something else instead.
Yeah, I've been meaning to bring in some like paper clips or something. I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, well, I want to do stars on his thing, and I want to use the toothbrush method, but I painted way too much to now do that.
Do you want some of this?
The masking, but no, because, yeah, I should just do it that way. I should not be lazy. I mean, this might work. This might work. You just don't get it. You just don't get like the variance though when you do it by hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you can, but it's crazy hard. Okay, I'm gonna do it I'm gonna do it correct. Okay. Oh yeah, these we've been seeing these. I think we saw these last week as well, and it looks like they've been updated. Yes. Actually, no. This person asked about these on Saturday's show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And they're super cool. Sorry, I got quiet because I did stars. And rather than mask anything, I just
just went for it. Yeah.
And acknowledged that I'm going to have to paint over things again. Yeah, these look great. And I do, let me see. They were green sword. They're asking about like other colors to add. And Adrian and I tossed out that we thought like orange or green, more presence of orange or green on these would look super cool. Yeah. I'm digging it. I do not remember the user's name, but these are looking good. Orange or green though, still, I think. More orange or green on all of them. Okay, we're back to that, but because it's a cat one, we do have a second helping of fan stuff that we're going to get to in a second. But before we do, we have a super chat here. Nick, challenge accepted. Next time you're in Canada for a tournament, I'll make sure to branch out. Yeah, Nick, and then obviously I love Canadians and they're referring to Canada as Canada for us Americans who tend to like traditionally be thought of as people who think that way. Like, oh, you're from Canada. But of course, it's the second largest country on the planet. So what part of Canada? Let me know. Because I would want to know that. Like, I don't want to be like in Vancouver and be like, hey, Nick, I want to get a game in. And you're like, you know what? Actually, I live in Halifax. So I'm actually a little closer to London right now. Maybe hit me up when you're in London. Not London, Canada, even. Is there a London, Canada? I think there is a London, Canada.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a Toronto, California.
Is there? There's an Ontario, California. Is there a Toronto?
There's also a Toronto, I think.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Awesome. Fan stuff too. Yes, Nick, of course. Or if you go to any events, like if you go to Nova. Yeah, I did just if you're on East Coast.
LVO.
If you're in East Coast Canada, I did at Nova get to meet the Season of War guys, Ridge and Jason, and those guys are super cool. They're in Canada, and you're in Canada, and they play Sigmar and you play Sigmar.
So maybe you know each other. Is really what you're trying to say?
Well, he probably knows them from YouTube, but yeah, maybe you know each other beyond that.
Right, all Canadians, I think, are friends. All Canadians know
all other Canadians?
Ryan Reynolds and Justin Bieber.
Well, no. No, but like they might be more likely to know other Sigmar players, right? Because it's like...
Yeah, it's I guess comparatively, it's not a big community.
Right. It's not as big of a community as the Be Believers community. Believers. Yeah. It's not as big as the Believers community. But it is big. Okay. Here we go. Oh, a little terrain time. Patsy.
I thought it was really cute.
Yeah.
And again, thank you for putting your name, because we like to give credit where credit's due. And sometimes we remember, sometimes we don't. So if you put your name on it, then everyone will know that this was yours.
How do you feel about the word cute to describe this, folks? Kat just said this was very cute.
It's cute.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with it. It's kind of funny. Oftentimes I'll paint something like a 40K model or something, and Meg's like, oh, it's so pretty. And then she's like, oh, that's a stupid word, or not. She's like, oh, I know that's not the word you want to hear for that. And I'm like, no, like, it's like Tau or it's Eldar. Yeah, like I want it to be pretty. Like, mostly I do want my models to look pretty. It's a fine word. Cute. This is a cute little 41st Millennium
Diorama.
Mm-hmm. Trash building, yeah.
I'm going to always refer to like any diorama as cute.
As cute.
Now, your mouse is not where you think it is.
Where was
You'll
it?
probably want to click on the actual thing.
Oh, I see.
Fan stuff 2 slides.
Fan stuff 2 slides.
There you go.
Okay. Oh, cool. Vingorian Lord.
Yeah, this one was really well done.
Yeah, Vingorian Lord's super cool. It's a cool model, and it's got this space to just like do these cool things on it, like the wings and the skin. Yeah, it's such a cool model, and it's nice to see somebody do something awesome with it like this. Really nice work. Good fan stuff. Good fan stuff picking, Cat.
Oh, thank you.
This is why you are one of my favorite cats. Because you're fan stuff picking. Look, every time you're like, hey, I can't pick less than 15 or less than 25 fan stuff, I'm like, okay. But you're always right. Okay, here we go. This guy, super cool. What is this? That looks like a Custodes shoulder pad. This is a little conversion going on here, huh, folks? I see a Custodes shoulder pad. I want to say some Slaves of Darkness stuff. Is that a Custodes shoulder pad? Or is this just actually a Slaves of Darkness model? I don't know, because I think I've literally in like 55 Sigmar games never played against... No, I did one time. Interesting. What is this, folks? It looks cool.
Yeah, it was super cool. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like a conversion. Maybe it's not. Does anybody know what this is? What's going on here?
Archeon.
It's Archeon, but not on his dragon. You can do that.
Or maybe they're just using the base to paint him, because he does not look like he fits on that.
Oh, he sits on top of dragon now. I see. Yeah, I guess I've never really looked at the actual Archeon himself sitting there on his whatever the dragon's name is. So it's interesting. I don't know the dragon's name. I don't know what the dragon looks like.
It does have a name.
It does have a name. But meanwhile, I know that it's called Archeon the model, but Archeon's the guy, but I don't really know what the guy looks like. Goes to show you how many times I've played Slaves of Darkness. Anyway, that looks super cool. What's going on here, Kat?
Yeah, it was posted in Hobby Progress.
Okay.
It was there. It had a mostly clean background.
Okay.
I'm not
No name on it though.
Yeah. I'm not one to judge really people's figures though. Like I just go like, oh, that's cool. I like the contrast on it. Like the black and the white was very good.
The freehand is the decal work down at the bottom.
Yeah, like LED, I just thought it was cool. It was very environmentally friendly. Like LEDs don't take up a whole lot of electricity.
Okay.
The big black switch on it's very easy to see. Like how would one turn theoretically if this was an actual lamp?
Yeah.
How would one turn it on, right? And I know how much chat loves lamps, and so.
What is chat? Oh, because of the lamp.
It's a nod to chat, really.
Hey, speaking of lamps, folks, there's a movie called Lamp, and it came out during COVID. It's a vampire movie, kind of.
Did it have lamps in it?
Oh, it has a lamp in it, all right.
A lamp, like capital L.
Yeah.
Lamp.
Lamp. No, like. I don't think capital. The movie's called Lamp with a capital L. Everybody look up the movie Lamp. First of all, you can actually watch you can watch the movie Lamp. Don't do it now. Wait till the stream's over. But you can watch the movie Lamp, and I use all of these terms like watch and movie liberally here. You can watch the movie Lamp. Weirdly, it's embedded in its own YouTube page. The whole movie, so it's there. How I even know about this movie is through Meg's podcast. I had to look up vampire movies and make them like a I want to say Balderdash style quiz up.
Oh, okay.
And so I had to look up and do some research on like random vampire movies, and the movie Lamp came up. So go check out the movie Lamp, and report back, please report back with your opinions. And if you've ever seen the movie Rubber, it's similar to that. Rubber is also one of the most infuriating movies ever made. And I think Lamp might be worse. So check out Lamp, check out Rubber, and then next time you see me at a con, LVO, or something like that, do me a favor, just go ahead and punch me right in the face, because that's what you're going to want to do. Okay, moving on, we've got, oh, this is cool. Hey, is that like super dark green or is that black? Either way, I'm into it, but ooh.
It's black.
It's black. Okay, I was going to say, I kind of feel like I'm super into this secondary color in Custodes. People do red, they do blue, they do dark green. It always looks cool, but for whatever reason, I'm like really into black and gold. Like, and then what they've done to add color is they've done all the metallics. Like they've done like multiple metallic colors, right? They've got like silver, they've got gold, they've got copper.
Yeah, this is like a
this is
major
really cool.
like bronze and like stark black thing. But now that you mention it, I think green would be really cool. Like a rich green would have been really cool. But
those are out there. Somebody has a beautiful army painted, like a huge Custodes army painted in like a it's like this color green. It's like it's Caliban green. It's like a real dark green.
Yeah. Like green and gold is fancy bathroom.
Green and gold is fancy bathroom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like green and brass or bronze or whatever is like fancy bathroom colors.
Fancy bathroom. Oh my God.
Yeah. I there's no this.
Cat's like, yeah, what's
Yeah,
fancy bathroom?
yes. I don't. Yeah. What's the hold up? Yeah.
You want to go? Fancy
Yeah.
bathroom?
So this. I was gonna say it's a fancy bathroom, but I don't want to say that. I thought it was really cool though. Like the majorly stark black. Now, okay.
Looted? This is like this is for orcs.
I'm going to say a suggestion. Now you don't have to take it, but I think if you wanted to keep it pure black.
Toss a little highlight, right?
No.
Oh.
Mat it down completely. And then put some like, I don't know, tape, whatever, some sort of like tape or design, but like tape it out and then put a gloss varnish on it and then take that off.
Oh, you want gloss black?
Mm-hmm. So like matte black gloss black. So it's still gloss, or sorry, it's still 100% black.
But the design is gloss?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Or opposite, whatever you want to do, right?
that
Like
is so
gloss it
cool.
up and then put a matte design on
cool.
it. I think that'd be really cool. But
That's cool.
yeah, because you just get like these really huge black things on the front. I just want to see something else, but I want it to stay black, and I actually don't want them to highlight it. So I think some like
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 it's like a like the material on the space shuttle almost.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah.
It's Carcanos's. Okay, that's cool. But Cat's idea is still really cool. Maybe not super orky, but also could be super orky. The AK Black is serious business. Oh, this is the AK Black. Okay, so look, I think Cat's idea is amazing, but Carcanos, this is cool. I don't think I've seen any Carcanos' models, so it's actually awesome to see these. Yeah, loving it.
Yeah, yeah.
I met him at Nova. Yeah. Okay. What is this?
I have no idea, but I thought it was really cool.
This is really cool.
They have like a whole video of it like turning around and stuff, but I can't put that a part of the slideshow.
Oh. What? Okay. So this is. I feel like I see parts from Mortarion and parts from Tyranids. I'm gonna guess they're using this as a swarm lord, or what is this?
I know, but it's huge. It's huge too. Like
a flying hive tyrant. Is this a Tyranid?
it's huge.
It is huge.
But yeah, I want to say it's like a Tyranid model because someone's saying it's a swarm lord, because the back of it was very much painted as like one would find a Tyranid model.
That's crazy.
But it's like jumbo. It's really cool though. So I don't know like where they got the model from or whatever, but I just thought it was neat. It was such a huge
Yeah, it's amazing.
piece.
Not sure what's going on here, but I love it. I love all of it. I love what's going on here. Oh, look, speaking of classic ultramarine.
Yeah.
Just like a
That's what this
classic
is.
ultramarine vibes today. Loving
Yeah.
it. Just like we had like open door vibes today, remember? Kat
Well,
came-
you had open door vibes, but
Kat
then the
came
moment
in,
I came in,
we just
you
had like the
closed
studio
it.
door to the rest of the office park open. I was like, you know what? It's like one of the last days of summer in the Bay Area, even though it just opens up to the office park, to the hallway in the office park.
Yeah.
To like, the
I
90s.
walked, I like turned the corner and I saw that the door was open, and I immediately was like, did someone break in?
Did studio get robbed?
Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And or someone's like carrying something to and from their car, but then I would have passed them in the parking lot, so I don't know.
This is great though.
Yeah. It's just classic, you know?
It's classic.
Yeah. Go back to basics kind of thing.
Yeah. Digging it. Digging the ultramarine. What is this? There's like a lot of conversions today.
Yeah.
It's like I like keep getting the things and I'm like, I can tell this is for Warhammer. But that's it. I can't even tell if it's for Sigma or 40K. Do you know what this is? No, you okay, I don't know why I asked. Okay, I'm gonna get up and look in a second. This is super cool though. Again, I feel like I definitely don't know what this is. Okay, my guess is this an actual model or is this another conversion? Is it like a Chaos Ogren or something? Does anyone in chat know? Yeah, I don't know. I like it. I guess that just pretty much makes me a version of you. Don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is, but I like it.
Don't know what it is. Definitely like it. Which is good with miniatures. You ever have that with food?
With food?
Yeah.
No,
like,
I
don't know what I'm
usually-
eating.
I usually have to know at least a little bit of like what's in it.
Sometimes that happens to me with dim sum.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. No. Normally, I have to know like a little bit of like what's in it at least. Like I don't have
That's not
to.
new possessed. Matthew Nurgle. Is that new? That's not the new possessed.
I mean, someone's saying it looks like a Bruce Children. It'd make a great possessed.
It looks like a. It looks like if somebody wanted to do like a Chaos Ogren. To me, in the background are Chaos boxes.
Yeah, it could very well be a kit bash, right?
Okay.
I'm not going to like take away that possibility because I do enjoy kit bashes,
You do enjoy a good kit bash.
but also I can't normally tell if it's a kit bash or
Warcry
not.
Barbarians, Caldorf coming out and sounding, maybe, he's the only one that said, didn't have like a question mark, like Happy Midi, Creations of Bile, New Possessed, okay. I see a lot of pretty sures, but look, Caldorf just came out and said it. He said it more confidently than the rest of you, so.
That means these are.
Now let me get up and actually look over on the computer. I don't think this is New Possessed, guys. Is that real? Is that the New Possessed? Yeah, maybe it is. You know what? Yeah, it probably is. That is like a Space Marine helmet there. Yeah. Okay. New Possessed. Okay. Oh, yeah. And I can actually now see the star on him and in the background. I think you guys are right. Okay. Caldorf, you were wrong. Caldorf, you tricked me. Okay, here we go with your confidence. Oh, this looks super cool, but on our monitor it's really dark.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna have to
there's
get up
like
and look at it
there's
again.
like a whole series of these guys, and like it's a simple yet complicated paint job. Like
Yes.
it's not super blended or anything like that, but the idea behind it was to have these like cool dynamic lightings. Like it's like low light, almost like emergency light, but then the under like the floor lighting and stuff like is like the super dim, like, oh, these are backup generator lights and stuff. So I thought that was really cool.
It's really cool. It is.
But there was a bunch of models that had this paint job.
Oh, cool. What are they? Let me see.
I don't know. It kind of reminded me of Infinity, but they're not. They're not.
It does. It
Yeah.
does. Is it? Is it Van Sar from?
Oh,
Necromunda?
Necromunda. Probably.
No, this is Infinity. This is the combined army, the alien army guys from Infinity.
Oh, okay.
This is crazy. This is amazing. Wow. But actually, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah, it's like comic book style. Mm-hmm. It's like nighttime comic book style. That's really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really well done.
Yeah.
And all of them are like that.
That's amazing.
So.
Yeah, I think these are like, it's a combined army there. I think they're called, or whatever the not. I know there's a second alien army now, but whatever the first alien army from Infinity is, I think it's them. Wowie wow.
Look, I know less about Infinity than 40K, so.
Okay.
It doesn't.
Oh, there you go.
Help. Ooh. Put my glasses back on. Yeah, they're so cute.
Yeah, you love these.
They're
guys.
so cute. I like them. I like them a lot. Like, and just like the really like intense panel lining on this as well too. It makes them look like a comic book or like a video game or like Among Us, which is what they kind of remind me of.
Among Us.
Yeah, they're just really cute. I like them a lot. But yeah, the community has been painting them up a lot, and so that's why
Yes.
there's so many of them.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, look, a little more terrain. This is cool.
Yeah. So this is by Daka something in the Discord, but he usually posts in the terrain channel. So if anyone wants to check out the rest of the photos of this stuff, then that's where you'll find it. But he makes a ton of terrain, which is really cool. And like a ton of really high quality terrain. Now this one has like this whole little like pond stream in the middle. And there's a bunch of them that are like this as well too. And some of them have like water plants, like paper plants in like the resin and stuff.
Oh, cool.
And that was just, it was really cool. But I don't think I would ever make terrain with paper plants unless I was the only one who was going to touch it.
Well, and yeah, because they're like not fully encased in the resin. They're like sticking out and stuff, right? So yeah, I agree. And you know, it's kind of funny. The paper plants, I have to say, I used them for my Craft World Eldar basing because I know he was in chat earlier. Seth talked me into it, which is like, you know, I think we all let Seth talk us into a lot of things. I think like probably in all of the Bay Area, you and I are probably two people who have been talked into things by Seth more than a lot of people. And it's 50-50, you know? Sometimes it's like, cool, really glad Seth talked me into that. Other times, like, Seth, you're like cursing his name. You're like, but the paper plants for me, I have to say, it's not Seth's fault. It's not the paper plants' fault. It's the fault of the fact that they have to go in and out of my like foam.
Yeah, they're delicate.
Yeah.
They're delicate. Like I wouldn't put them on terrain. I wouldn't put them on a base, but I would 100% put them on a diorama, like a display piece. And I think really that's probably your big issue with like whenever Seth talks about stuff.
He's doing it from like a...
He's an artist.
He's a diorama person.
Yeah. He is an artist with a capital A.
Yeah.
Probably trademarked. And he's not thinking about like...
He's not thinking that these guys need to get on the battlefield and pwn somebody.
Yeah.
They can't be worrying about their plants falling off, Seth.
So I think that's the big issue there. Because for me, like, I don't play. And so whenever he suggests something, I'm like, this is great. This is wonderful. But at least I know, I would never then put this on terrain if I knew other people were going to.
But I imagine Seth's recommendations are hot and cold on other topics like food as well. Seth just strikes me as a guy who has like these strong opinions on things, and then you're just like, all right, Seth talked me into eating this, and then you're eating it like, what is, oh my God, Seth, what have you done to me? Okay, what is this? Armiger? Yes, super cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is cool.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't an Armiger.
It's something.
Yeah,
Helvern?
Yeah. Well, yes, Helvern is the shooting Armiger. Oh yeah, this is an Armiger. Oh yeah, they're doing like a little chaos guy. There he is, Seth. Oh, paper plants. Yeah, they're good. They're good, but not going in and out of foam cases. They don't love that. Yeah, this looks super great.
Hey, Seth.
Yeah, it's true. 50-50 is not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I would not put them on bases that you were like, I'm gonna play this a ton. A display army, a display piece, a display diorama or whatever. Perfectly fine.
But they are sold as basing material. Like the company that sells them is like,
which is so strange to me. It's so strange. But I like, it would work if you had a table war case, like a magnetized case or something like that. But foam, I would not. I would not.
Yeah.
And also, honestly, maybe like the more time you put into your pieces and stuff, you'll probably start to feel like you want a magnetized case anyway.
I don't like them.
Because foam rubs your paint off.
Yeah.
Or breaks like delicate pieces and stuff.
Breaks pieces.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then, we're done. We did it. We did 2 cat fan stuff things.
Yeah.
Now, moment of reckoning. Are you ready to call it?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I'm also ready to call it. Right after I came down.
We're ready to call it. Let me just very quickly do some more.
I got some silver on a place that's supposed to be black, and it looks really bad.
That's fair.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a quick wash on this tube.
Yep, we're both definitely ready to call it.
Yeah. I'm pretty much done.
Pretty
I don't know
much.
about you, but
Are
like.
you ready to call this? Anytime now. Anytime you're ready, really.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait for you.
Yeah. Well, I think that's really nice of you. But I will say this. I'm feeling like
Ready to call it?
I'm feeling ready to call it, but I don't want to necessarily call it until, my hobby stream partner is ready to call it herself. So I will defer to you.
Right.
Yeah, and what do you think? What do you think?
But like
Okay. Well, actually, wait. There's a hook. You've made such a big deal about touching everything, and now there's a hook that I see here, and then this hook has to have some silver. At least get some silver on it. Okay, here we go.
fair.
And then after this hook, I think
You're ready to call it?
we're ready to call it, yeah. Barring any hook-based mistakes. Barring the hook needing any additional help or hook-based mistakes. And okay, all right. I'm calling it. Here we go. I'll go first. Okay. But can I have some of the gooey stuff? Because I don't have this guy's base.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? He's sound. He's gonna sit up on his own. Okay, here we go. Gonna go to glam.
Okay.
Here's my current Kroot. And here's my new guy. There we go.
Wow.
He's got his little scenic cape, nighttime scene. He's got his giant sniper rifle thing. He's got his quills, purple quills. And the inside of his cape, I left like this gray, well, not left, but I did like this gray color. But I think I'm going to keep it that way. So my Kroot skin, in lore, Kroot can like change the color of their skin.
Uh-huh.
And my Kroot's Kroot are camouflaged to be as if they're in mist, like because my tower for like a jungly planet, and so my Kroot aren't camouflaged to be jungly green, but rather to be in mist, like they're coming out of mist. And so this guy's cloak, what I want to do is on reversible, and the outside is like a jungle night scene, and the inside is like the mist color again. So the inside is like almost the same color as the Kroot's skin, and he can like flip it and reverse it, and then be just like all gray and be like super misted. I'm so excited to paint the rest of this kill team. I'll be honest with you guys. I'm very excited to paint the rest of this kill team, and they all look like this. They all have these capes and stuff. So like here's the other guy. I didn't get any further on him, but if you want to see the model, this guy's called the broker, the kill broker, like because he brokers deals to kill things. Since Kroot are mercenaries, you see he's a little too dark to focus, I think. Let's see.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, that might do it. It's gonna like zoom in for a second and be weird looking. Yeah, there he is. So you can see he's pretty cool, right? And I'm excited to paint him. This is the leader guy. I was gonna either paint him or the sniper, but I was already into the sniper. So, okay, we ready to look at this cat?
Yeah.
Can I touch it?
Just don't touch his tube, because I slapped some Nuln on it and it's still wet.
Oh, this looks cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't touch the tube.
Yeah.
Okay, how's this? Oh yeah.
Oh, he looks so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this side is a little darker than I initially wanted it to be, but I felt like it was combating with this side a little bit too much. So, yeah.
Oh, I see. Like it was too light.
Yeah, it just looked weird, really, on like a figure. It was just a little weird, but yeah, I think he's cute. I painted his toe beans and his nose the same color, and I took some pastel pink and I mixed it with a 1-to-1 mix of carmine and off-white. And carmine and off-white were just a little bit too salmon pink, so I put some pastel pink, and it made like
the toes are like great, right? The toes are like you were talking about, like focusing on a couple things, and I think almost like the toes are one of them, huh? The nose and the toes.
The nose, well, the face and
yeah,
and his toes,
yeah, because the rest is so dark.
Yeah, and then I painted the little silver parts, 2 different tones of metallic. I did it in gunmetal first, and then I highlighted in little spots with silver. And then, yeah, I mean, I think everyone else saw what I did with basically everything else. And then what I did was I took some Cygor brown contrast paint, and I super watered it down. I washed his fur with it, which is cork from AK, but cork has like this like orangey brown to it.
It almost looks like chocolate milk.
Yeah, but it comes with all the colors around it, like especially with the strong purple and stuff. It reads as an orange cat. I felt so I wanted to go more brown rather than like orange, like Cheeto orange. So I think that was like probably the best choice with wanting him to read as an orange cat without wanting him to look fluorescent.
Like look like Garfield
or
something.
So, so his fur is cork from AK, and then I washed it with a super thin wash of Cygor brown, and then I took off-white and cork, and I mixed like a 1-to-1 ratio of that, and then I highlighted the right side of his face, the right side of his right paw, the right side, well, front paw, I guess, and the right side of his back paw.
The same, it matches the helmet.
Yeah, and then a little bit on the tip, like the curved round of his tail.
Yep.
Yeah.
This looks great, and this is cool, and this gives me a lot to think about for some projects I have coming up. Some that I need to revisit. This is very nice.
So yeah, I think the only thing that's like kind of upsetting because I was doing the contrast with like trying to do it really quickly, is that there is, like, you can see, I don't know if it'll read on camera, but in person you can see some splattering that happened with the airbrush.
Oh, I see.
Especially on the yellow, it stands out the most. But I can go in and fix that. It's just going to take a lot of glazing and trying to smooth that out and stuff. So, yeah.
It looks awesome. Yeah, the highlight points on the toes and the tail and the face and the helmet are cool. And it's interesting because, like, if you just paint a model really dark like this, you can get into like a disinteresting, like, it's not interesting. But this, and like we saw that the infinity model the person did, like, really nice. Because of the area that you select to make like bright.
Yeah.
Hey, we did it. We both finished a model.
Yeah.
We did it. Awesome. Next week, we are doing something. We already know what we're doing next week. That's actually not common.
No.
Next week, we're gonna do. We're gonna help a fella out. We're gonna help. The fella is John, the fiend himself. We're gonna help him out. We have some terrain. We have some terrain, and it is it's different. It's different. It's not what you think.
It's not foam. It's not a plastic GW kit.
Yeah. We're gonna be doing something a little interesting. That also, I think, if you are not an owner of Titan's Terrain, which you should be, it's kind of an interesting option to get some terrain on the cheap, and we're gonna spruce it up a bit. So we're very excited about that. Kat, anything else going on with you?
Well, you put your cap on wrong.
It's a little off-centered.
Yeah. I mean,
There we go.
other than the fact that I'm very excited for it to be October.
Yeah. Your birthday month.
My birthday month. Yes, I make it a huge deal, and then I end up not really doing a whole lot for my birthday.
Yeah, she's also really into She's also really into decorations. Some Halloween decorations have already showed up. You can actually see them a little bit behind her. So it looks like we have one of those people that just does a lot with decoration. So we're gonna see how that goes. Other than that, I think we did it, folks. As we, of course, like to say here, be kind to each other, be kind to yourselves. That's super important, and always be creating. See you guys.